welcome everybody to show number 12 of the 5-Pin Pro League. Our matches today are Okanagan Eclipse versus the Regina Infinite Escapes. Then Regina Infinite Escapes versus T-Bay Bowling Club. We might as well pull them up on the screen here. And then T-Bay versus the Panorama Mad Hatters. We have some important matches here today. Let's bring up the standings really quick. So obviously T-Bay's playing in the Rusted Petal division. They're a little bit down, but they have a couple matches in hand here to play, so they can move up and catch some of the teams tied for second at the moment. And then we have Okanagan Eclipse that also has a game in hand. They're playing a match today to try and catch the people ahead of them. And obviously the Regina Infinite Escapes and the Mad Hatters are a little bit down. They can play some spoilers here late in the season.
Yeah, we really got some big games here today. It seems like Okanagan, they need this game right now to make sure they can get right back in the race. And, I mean, they're obviously not going to get a chance for that bye there with Dream Crushers probably, but just staying alive to make the playdowns. And then BPG with their next game, big game coming up as well for the next couple weeks.
So if you guys didn't notice, we have some special commentators today. Rookies, if you will, to this scene. We have Adam Weber and Mr. Mitch Davies. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
It's good. Really looking forward to watch some good bowling here.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be real interesting. So there's a little interesting tidbit that we're going to inform our audience of. So this session, unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts and stuff like that, Regina had to pre-record their play, but Okanagan is with us live. They'll be playing their match just as if they were playing. Regina was playing live with them. So for our viewership, you guys won't notice the difference in the play, but just a little caveat to you'll wonder why Regina is maybe not responding to the Okanagan play as much as Okanagan's responding to Regina's play. So a little neat thing we can do here with this Pro League, right?
Yeah, I mean, when desperate times call for desperate measures, right? You gotta get them in. We understand life happens, stuff like that, but you gotta make sure you get these games in, right?
Yep, for sure. So with that being said, let's bring our managers in. So from Okanagan Eclipse, we have Bailey Lawson, player manager, and from the Regina Infinite Escapes, we have the manager with us, Mr. Devin Mash. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome. So obviously a little bit of a different thing going on here. So Bailey, what's Okanagan's gameplay and what's your lineup looking like?
Our lineup, we have Drew playing today. He's making his debut, so I know that's been long awaited.
Late season.
Yep. Yeah. And then we have Chris, Kelsey, Alan, and then Mike is our anchor, and I'm playing on the bench.
Okay.
Player manager on the bench. Nice. Devin, what's Regina's lineup for their play?
Well, their lineup for today, we're starting with Danny, and then going with Taylor, Brian Askin, Sarah Lett, and then Kale.
So Devin, I'm not sure how much you got to talk to the team after they're playing stuff. How did they respond to playing a pre-recorded match as to actually being there live? Was it different for them? How did they feel about it?
Well, they had more league supporters because I think there was a league going on right beside them.
Oh yeah.
And then I think Danny and Sarah were actually bowling on lane 16 and then bowling on lane 1 for this. So they were running back and forth.
And they just got back off their Mexico trip, so they were probably jet lagged and everything. It's a different atmosphere for them.
Yeah, so they probably threw a ton.
Nobody knows.
You guys can wait and see.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of this whole setup. So without further ado, Bailey, Devin, have great matches, guys, and good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, Bailey.
guys.
Good luck, guys.
I love it.
I was going to say, I'll have to ask Bailey afterward. Basically, I wonder what he told his team going into this game. they got 2 of these big matches coming up. They got to stay ahead of the Heartland Kingpins. Kingpins got 3 more games left. I'm just wondering, maybe like, did he give maybe a pep talk? Like, he knows he's got to come out here and take at least 6 to stay alive.
I don't know. Does it really change the mindset? Obviously, the situation is a situation, and just being 2.5 points up on Heartland, and realistically, they're only 6.5 behind Paradise as well, but they do have that game in hand. So if they put up like a 7 spot here, all of a sudden they're in really good shape.
Oh, absolutely,
to make that 3rd spot, right?
Yeah, and Paradise's last game is against T-Bay, so I mean, this could come down to the wire here as well. I mean, T-Bay having 2 big games today. They're gonna need this to stay alive, right? I mean, that's a pretty tight division over there, especially with a lot of teams having all of them except for one having the 3 games remaining. So right now, today is going to be a defining factor for the rest of the season for a couple teams.
Yeah, for sure, and I think T-Bay, the good thing, I guess, for them is that the teams that are ahead of them all kind of play the top teams of the Cargill division as well. So they can kind of beat each other up, and maybe T-Bay can kind of sneak in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be some big games here. I don't know this Drew guy. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with him. Do you know him, Adam?
I don't, and like Bailey was mentioning, this is his first attempt at the 5-pin Pro League. Gets out there with a little 5 spare, so get the nerves out of the way.
He puts him out there right away. Just say, get it out of the way, and get those nerves out of the way. Yeah, that's good coaching right there.
Yeah, Drew played in the exhibition matches kind of before this whole league started, and I think he threw really, really well. So I do believe he's like a 260 to 270 player at that center. So he can definitely shoot. There's for sure.
I know some of these people at this center. Like I was talking to Kelsey earlier in the week. She lives like an hour away from this place.
Yeah,
right.
Most of the team lives quite a ways away from the center.
Wow. So they're pretty dedicated to these proprietors. And then, of course, he comes out there with a strike.
Yeah, okay. Mike Elder drives over 2 hours to play this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's just dedication, eh?
Pure dedication.
Yeah.
Well, it's
that
also
speaks to BC's interiors messy to get around, too.
Is it? Like, I don't know where they all live or anything like that. I couldn't tell you. So I don't know how this all kind of works, like where their centers are and everything. It's like one of the few provinces where I couldn't tell you where everything is, because I know they have like 7 zones, but then like if there's like 4 of them bunched within a half an hour of each other or something like that. I'm not too familiar with this zone or with this province.
Yeah, Vancouver has 4 zones inside of it, and then the interiors, like all the Kelowna, Vernon region, stuff like that. People drive all around the interior BC just to play like their open qualifying and stuff like that. Like it's quite the travel.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's not very far distance wise, but like the roads aren't straight in BC, right? So
yeah,
it takes a little while to get everywhere.
See, I think Mike's got to be the veteran leader on this team right now. I think he's got to hold it down for them. You know, we've seen Mike over the years be a great player. He doesn't get the respect and notoriety that he actually deserves. Especially with those teams back in the day with the Okanagan, like Darren Rich, Schwartz was on those teams too, and he lived there for a bit. Mike was definitely a staple on that team, and you know, again, he doesn't get the notoriety or the respect that he deserves because he's always out there and he's always playing well. Always, he's really consistent.
Yeah, he's super consistent.
Yeah, and I think like batting down the hatches right there, getting a strike for his team right off the hop. I think that's going to be a big factor for these guys. If he can lead them the way, I think they'll go.
Right.
Yeah, really great start for that first frame for the Okanagan as well. Like you were mentioning, it's going to be kind of different, maybe a little less difficult than one might think. But taking a look over at Regina, even though it's recorded, they are still going shot for shot. So I think the mentality doesn't change. Mm-hmm. And I think you just kind of get into that team mindset and just start trying to run strikes, right? And like I said, with Mike as that kind of veteran anchor here, that first shot really solidifies their mindsets kind of going forward.
You know what this reminds me of, though. Actually, it reminds me a lot of the 8-gamer. When I was playing it throughout the playdowns, you wouldn't see what the other person's doing a lot. You could have that option. I never did personally, but this reminds me when you're watching Regina. Basically, they're throwing balls, just assuming that the other team has a 1500.
Right.
You know, like that's always in your back of your mind. Is like, okay, he had a 300, or he had, it doesn't matter. You have no idea what the other team has. You have no inkling, nothing. So you're always just assuming that the team you're playing has the best possible outcome. So you have to stay on your grind the whole time.
Yeah, totally. You always gotta assume the best out of your opponent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think Regina's position in the playoff standings as it is right now? Do you think that has any change on their mindset of just kind of going out there and freewheeling?
Yeah, I think. I mean, they have. We were talking about this prior to the broadcast here. How good their team is and how much they've underperformed. So, I mean, they're a dangerous team, especially in that center, that they can go on a roll like anyone else. So if they do come freewheeling and free flowing, like they could be a dangerous team to beat.
Guaranteed.
So,
yeah, they've got five players in the top 100 of the 5-pin universe rankings, and 4 of those players in the top 54. Danny's as good as it gets on tour, right? And Taylor McCaw and Brian Askin have really shown just their quality over the last 2 or 3 years as well. Like this is a very scary team if they're on their game.
Oh, Mike gets roasted there.
Yeah, beautiful ball.
Yeah, totally. There's all the pieces to be an unreal team, right? It's just getting that team cohesiveness and feeding off each other is huge too, right?
I feel like some of these scheduling conflicts have definitely played a role as well. You want to expect the full dedication on your team, and you wonder, like, I have no idea. I have no insight on their team. Is it a couple people that, like, obviously you have work commitments, you have trip commitments, you have other tournaments, you have these things, and then sometimes, like, the few you just can't get it done.
Well,
and
COVID this year too, right?
COVID, yeah, and it takes away sometimes of from the experience, like from the team portion, right? You're trying to stay with this, but like you kind of lose some motivation sometimes. Is all I can say.
Yeah.
What a great start for Drew coming in.
Oh yeah. Danny gets a strike.
Danny.
Is that his first one of the series this year? Or?
Probably feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know he wasn't there the last broadcast that they played. I feel like that was definitely a big loss, not having Danny there as the leader of that team, especially at a young age like him too, right? Like, not having him there, he's got to be your guy.
Yeah, great shot by Taylor.
And I don't know how much he's taking that on, right? I'm not sure if Danny's taken on that role to be the energy and stuff like that. Just from these broadcasts, just watching his demeanor and stuff like that, just seems like he's one of the team. He's not a leader.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I wonder if that's something that he's noticed, or if he notices that he needs to take that on and be the energy for the team, or something like that. Absolutely. You can't have everybody that's even keel, right? You need somebody that's going hot, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. What is the center? So it's called Lincoln Lanes that Kelsey's the Okanagan is playing in?
Yeah.
And have you guys ever played there before?
No,
I've never played there either. I wonder, just kind of trying to grasp like a scoring comparison here, when you can figure it out. I know, like we were talking about it again, Regina has 3 good scoring centers, right? Norristown, Glencairn, and the Golden Mile. I've always heard that Glencairn was the best, and now we, as far as scoring goes, but we've always seen that Regina or Golden Mile can just blow the top off, right? So I wonder what this place is like in comparison to Glencairn of where they are playing.
Yeah, all I know is from like what Kelsey has said and stuff like that, and the scoring is really, really good. So I just, it's so hard to compare centers that, like you said, you've never played at or anything like that. How do you judge it, right?
Yeah.
What a ball.
No.
Both. Wow. Well, to just kind of take a look, their averages even in the pro league here, like for the most part, they're probably sitting right around 1200s for the team. Allen's kind of leading the way. He's averaging 268. He's got 3 wins there as well. But like Meg's got 3 wins. Kelsey's been playing phenomenal there. She's averaging 246 so far with 4 wins. You can tell the scoring's there, and then all of a sudden they're adding Drew, which Carrie, you mentioned that 260 265 player. Clearly there's plenty of talent, and obviously the scoring must be half decent here too.
I'm just watching Drew's first couple of frames there. He has a good line and a good ball.
Yep.
It seems like he could definitely be a good addition to this team. Where's he been all season? That's the real question.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that for you.
You know what we should have had going on today, guys, was it's the happy props day today, eh? Like, this is the golden day here, okay? Will there be an opening kick touchback? So we should have had something like that today. Like, what team is the first one to throw a 4-bagger? Like what?
4-bagger?
Yeah, no. An individual 4-bagger on this team. We could call this right now since Taylor simply just messed that up. So we could call this right now. What team does throw the first 4-bagger here? And when do you think it happens, Adam?
My first instinct is I think someone on the Okanagan is going to start running really hot. And my gut instinct is telling me something's going to happen with Allen here.
Okay.
And typically when he starts going, it's just run after run after run. And, even in the previous broadcasts for the Pro League, he usually throws 4 or 5-bagger, in almost every game somewhere. Whether it's a slow start, slow finish is another thing. But I have a feeling it's going to be Allen here.
Yeah, no, he's solid. It's just it got me in the spirit last night. I was sitting there thinking about what props I'm going to go with.
Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, I've got a couple going on right now, and I've always loved kind of bringing the two together for bowling and for like props are so fun in general. Just to talk about these things, and I really do feel like we need to introduce these things into the WCBT. We don't condone gambling though.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's soon.
Yeah. Well, the thing is now there's all these stats that are finally being put out there that if we do want to physically put bets out there at some point, and it likely won't be any of us from this this organization. It'll have to be third party, but
yeah,
you need some sort of like baseline for people to be able to bet against. And now, in Canada, there's a lot of single game, betting that's available and stuff like that. I think it's just a matter of time. But there has to be that baseline of statistical breakdown.
For sure, absolutely. People watching from home, that's what's going to keep people invested in watching these tournaments, right? When they can have something on the line to watch at home on their TV, their tablet, whatever. And just making sure, I'm following along with this guy because I have him to come in the top 8.
Exactly.
Or I have him to come in the top 4. Whatever, right?
What a huge shot. This game is so tight right now up the middle 3 that's an absolutely massive double.
Yeah, let's see what Kale does here. He really shanked that one.
He'll drop the shoulder.
The only one thing I can notice here is with the pre-recording video, is that it's pretty clear. You don't have to worry about things cutting in and out.
Yeah, it's not double relying on my sweet internet.
Yeah, when you live in the middle of nowhere. So
All
now,
I gotta say is I gotta have shares in Starlink. I'll tell you that.
Starlink, is that what the internet you're using right now?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's made for Wetaskiwin.
Elon Musk, baby.
Okay, so we've got a double and a spare right now for the Okanagan, and we have no marks right now, and they're up 10 for Regina, and Regina's down 10. So, we got a chance right here for the Okanagan to really take advantage and really go hard into the break right here. Drew is just, this guy's just proving himself right now, saying, I belong here, and I can be part of the 5-pin Pro League, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to find out why he hasn't been involved previously, whether scheduling conflicts or something along those lines. 'Cause, yeah, clearly he can play, but it could just be a matter of fact, getting somebody even like Bailey in the lineup consistently.
Well, I
right?
was going to
Like,
say he's
Bailey's
probably
in
going in
the
right now.
lineup.
Yeah. But here's a question for you: would you have waited that long
To make the poll?
to put the poll? Like, the guy's got 65 and 4. He's already opened 3 out of his first 4 frames, and the other one was a spare. Basically no premium marks, and you let him go out there for one more time. I don't know, man. I probably would have pulled him as soon as he picked in the 4th.
I don't know. It's so situational, right? Like, I don't mind him, giving one more shot in the 5th. I think he has to make a line change within this frame. Obviously, it can't be Kelsey, right? And Allen's kind of struggling, but is on the middle. Chris, if he's struggling, he's probably not coming back for this game, right? So I think my gut instinct probably would have been maybe after the plow and 4. I don't mind him giving that one extra leash, especially with Taylor on nothing, really. Like, he's only down 20 sticks through 4, so I don't mind him giving one more shot.
I know, but you're playing a pre-recorded video, so you can't really, I can understand if you're being, side by side, not wanting to screw up the chemistry of however it's going with the game if they have nothing going on. Just trying to take someone out or put someone in. And sometimes I don't always agree with those either, but I just feel like sometimes in coaching, say take the Open for example, our biggest lack is when people neglect to make a pull faster, especially in say a higher level division like the 5PU. You've got a guy on the bench who can perform just as good as the guy who's struggling right now. So let's get him in there. I can understand other divisions where the person may not be as strong, and you're like, you know what, we got to rely on this guy or this girl and to take us home because the other guy on the bench probably can't do it either.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I honestly, I think this is the biggest issue of having a player as a manager as well, right? Because he also doesn't want to step on toes, and he doesn't want to put himself in and all that stuff, right? So it adds that extra layer. And,
I agree.
Maybe he waited that extra frame. Just so it doesn't look like favoritism for himself, right? Like, I don't know. I personally, I don't like the player manager idea. I know some people are kind of forced into it in this format, but I think that's a big issue for maybe Bailey's mindset there.
I think you're right. I think when it comes down to it, the player manager, I've always been a huge advocate for it too. I feel like I could do a job just as good as well, but it's you're right. I mean, sometimes you're thinking about, okay, how can I not make myself look selfish here? Instead of but at the same time, you just wasted your team a frame.
Correct.
Not to cut you off here, Mitch, but we'll run our first commercial of the match, and we'll bring in the remainder of this match. Right now, Infinite Escapes at 486 at the half, and we have Okanagan Eclipse at 535, so still fairly tight.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
All right, here we go. The last half of this first match. Okanagan has the edge. Just what they were looking for.
Yeah, what do we got here? We got 535 to 486 with 3 marks for Okanagan and 3 marks for Danny. I mean, we're looking at a pretty tight match. Or, Regina. Sorry. Oh,
Great
Danny,
shot by Drew.
Did he get it there? Yeah, I mean, he's staring it down. I don't know.
Yep.
Oh, he didn't. Okay.
Left the corner, yeah.
I thought it was good too.
Yeah. Drew is just staying hot right now. He's really just showing us. He's like, you guys don't know me. You'll know me by the end of the game.
Big FU to Mitch. I love it.
Yeah. So it's funny. I was looking at this one prop for today. I know we're in the middle of a boy match here. But I was looking at this one prop for today, probably about a week ago. And I thought for sure, I'm like, it's for the touchback, right? I'm like, yeah, there's no way. They always kick that to the end zone first of the game. Like, no problem. That thing's going to be a lock. I want to discuss Bailey's frame in a minute here. But Pat McAfee comes out last week and says that 26 of the last 28 Super Bowls have not been a touchback on the first kickoff.
Really?
What?
That's crazy, eh? So I guess there's like this thing where the football, every other game of the whole entire season, you get the kicker gets about 30 to 45 minutes to like mess with the ball, like kick it around, whatever, basically deflate gate. But they get that option. In the Super Bowl, they don't. So it's like they're kicking a brick.
So it's usually just a little bit shorter.
Yeah, so it's like, and because that ball, as soon as the play is over, it goes right into the Hall of Fame. So I didn't know that. Like, so 26 of the last 28, though, have not been touchbacks. So, like, the odds have just been, like, crazy going the other way. Oh, Kelsey.
Great shot, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Strike.
So, I mean,
Laces out, you're saying then, Mitch.
Laces out. Yeah. Ace Ventura. Bailey now is like, he's now wasted 2 frames essentially, right? Because he was cold. He didn't get that opportunity to warm up for he got it in the 5th frame. I get it. But maybe if you would have had that one opportunity in the 4th, you could have like made that adjustment for the 6th. I mean, now you're looking at what, like a max of like 270, even if you bang it with a 6-bagger, something along those lines. I can't tell right now, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 88 and 6.
Yeah.
88. He's got 88 and 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so was that 68 then? 268 max,
Yes.
right? 180. Yeah. So, Mike has hit the side every ball of this game.
Does that count as the side though?
Hey, did it hit more than one?
Yeah, his first 5 shots have been absolute pocket bombs, right?
Yeah.
He's locked in, and all of a sudden you've got your leadoff, you've got your anchor playing very solid. It gives nothing but confidence, and I definitely think 2, 3, 4 are going to find something here right away. You see, Allen's shot was a great shot. Kelsey's was a great shot. I definitely think Bailey is going to feel the pressure on this ball. And I've seen him in pressure shots, and I think he'll come through this one. At least put a quality shot out there. His last frame was not very solid. But like I said, sometimes you just need that one frame to get warmed up and go.
Let's see if Drew can put his team way up here.
Yep.
Oh, he knew it, but it was just a power chop.
Just a little push.
I think that's our first power chop of the game on that side as well. Not too many of them, do you see?
No.
Yeah, I don't think they throw it hard. They're definitely more of a finesse team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
Their hardest
probably
shooter
the
would be
hardest
probably
thrower,
Elder. Yeah, you're right.
And he's coming in from such an angle that if it's a chop, it's a chop. It's not necessarily power chop, it's angle.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. See, I was talking to Kelsey this week as well. She said she was trying to work on her game about possibly moving over from bocce to regular foot. There he is.
Bailey.
There he is. He says he knows it now. I got it. I'll be back, team. Don't worry. But do you find, like, because I didn't know her kind of skill level, and then she told me, and I was like, wow, I was actually, impressed, because I don't know too many bocce players that are like that. I know a couple that are good, and it's the ability to, there's another chop.
Power chop.
Of course, yeah, of course. I know a couple. It's possible, but do you think like making a switch like that is necessary for her, or do you feel like getting better at your craft the way it is?
I don't know. Whatever's more natural, right? Like, I know she probably feels pretty natural in a bocce setting, but I don't know if that would be her preferred.
Yeah,
feeling.
she told me she's like a lefty thrower, but like wrong leg thrower anywhere on the ball diamond. I'm like, I can't follow this.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's whatever more comfortable. I think it's easier for people to help her if she was normal foot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
such a hard thing to do.
I was talking to her there on Sunday. She was sparing, and she mentioned that she ended up having to change out of necessity due to injury. And so I think her mindset is to kind of get back to her normal game. And she's definitely talking about working on that in the off season. But I don't know. I think she has a very good shot right now. But if there's a way to maybe go back and get that next level, because maybe now she's got the mindset of competing, and she needs to get back to a normal shot for her to take that next step.
Yeah. I see. It's just like you either gotta go.
Loves it.
There he is again, like just hitting the side every
roasted.
ball, 100% on the side. That's with 7 frames in. That's pretty solid.
Just that angle, right?
Yeah, you can't get much better though than what he's doing right now.
No.
I think you got to go all in, one way or the other. Either make the switch, stick with the switch, don't alter to the other leg, nothing, or get better at what you're doing. You got to make that decision, and maybe don't make it now. But I said to her, I'm like, well, what are the options if you do it now? If you do, I mean, you've got basically 8 months until next bowling season. You'll probably be ready to go. But as of right now, we're in the midst of regular bowling season. So, I mean, what do you want to do? And look at this, Regina just battles back here.
Big frame for Regina. And now you got 2 doubles at the bottom, potentially to carry some huge score going into the next frame.
Drew just roasted here. We could be seeing that first 4-bagger prop bet covering right now for the Regina team.
Yeah.
Sarah's over there on a triple. Really
Great shot.
battled back.
Regina's coming.
I really like this Drew's shot. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
It reminds me a lot of, I don't know if you guys ever met him or not, but Chris Millard from Newfoundland. Great shooter as well. Throws the same ball just like that. Nice little hook up the middle. Got a little back end turn. It's a solid shot for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty natural. Nothing's forced, which is good, right?
Yeah, let's see if Bailey here.
Huge shot for Bailey, just from a mental standpoint.
Oh, he knows it.
Loves
it. Man.
That's fine though, right? Like now he's throwing 2 quality shots. Now he's going into the big frames, and I think at least he's now going to be confident going into 9, which he's basically forced to set it up to have any shot at getting this match against Taylor.
See, the lucky thing for these guys right now is basically, we say it all the time in football, where it's like you can't match touchdowns with field goals, right?
Yeah.
Same thing in bowling, where you can't, depending on what centers you're playing in, like when we're going to Regina Golden Mile or Timmins, you can't match strikes with spares. It just doesn't work out that way. You're not going to win games. But right now, with the way that they've been playing, and luckily they still have a lead, they can kind of get away with these.
Yeah.
Brian with just a blow up. Now that's the type of frame that you gotta wonder how 4 or 5 are feeling now. Right, it's you're absolutely running. The whole team's starting to run, and then all of a sudden you got like a total blip.
Yeah,
right? And then does Sarah have that same mentality? Is she just focused on her shot? Is she watching what's going on? That's such a unique dynamic of this team type of event. It's such a mental battle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow, my internet's
she
really
gets
taking
it.
a beating here.
Oh,
Who had Regina for the first 4-bagger? Who had it?
Not me. Alan let me down. No. Although Okanagan keeps burying in the pocket for corners.
I know. Like I said, it was. So at one time, right now, we've got 4 of the last 5 shots made by Okanagan being corners, right?
Another huge shot by Kale.
Oh man, they absolutely just took the lead right now too, right?
Oh, with doubles in hand, right?
Yeah.
They got three doubles running.
Oh, Alan. You know, and these just are not like good scores though, right? Like, I mean, they're not having their best game. They've got to find a way here to battle 9-10 and just bring this back. I mean, I don't want to say it like this, but they kind of have no one to blame but themselves right now because of this, right? I mean, 869 and 8 is not going to get it done right now.
Yeah, Drew and Mike are kind of holding the
pause
team
button,
in,
Gary.
right? Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys.
Well, we know what happens now.
Oh, they have a good insight, obviously.
I think Danny likes it.
Oh, there he goes.
And
8 for 8 on the side. Anybody got Mike Elder going 12 for 12 on the side here? Like, what are the odds on that one?
Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
I'll give you straight up odds, no problem.
Hey, you want to know why? Because he's probably going to end up getting roasted on either 10 or 11. And
oh, yeah,
he's not going to get a 12
That's a good
shot.
call. That's a good call. He can't go 12 for 12.
Unless you throw the double.
Drew.
Lucky.
Gets a tight one. Oh, there we go. All right.
A little delayed reaction from Danny, but pretty good shot. Really helped us finish there.
We could be looking at a 700 double here, basically between the top and bottom of the Okanagan, just holding this team alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Kelsey and Allen got to find it here, 9-10. And this is, I've gone over this with you before, Adam. We had a lengthy discussion about this at the autumn. Bowling really comes down to basically 3 frames.
Great shot.
Bailey. Yeah, basically 3 frames. It's 8, 9,
8,
10,
9,
right?
10.
Yeah.
Yep.
But most importantly, if you can continue to get 9, 10, if you can bear down for those times and make sure you're getting your 60s or your 75s or your 90s, that can really help your overall tournament, game, league, whatever you want to improve on. That's basically where you need to be.
Big shots for both these players here.
Oh.
Kelsey pitches. Brian with a really, really nice shot. That's a huge strike there in that match. Kelsey really needs to bear down on this spare.
Yeah, she's got to get this spare right here. Looks all right.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Stay in black. Okay. We got a match here. Let's see if Sarah can keep it rolling. Oh, was that a tangle? Oh,
That's a tangle.
Yeah,
The
really,
ice.
the only match that's kind of out of hand here is this Sarah versus Allen, right?
Yeah,
every other
else
match
is
has some potential drama.
Allen?
It's going to be a fun finish. That's a huge shot from the vet.
Yeah, I mean, we got Bailey there with still the advantage, right? I mean, if Taylor bangs out, what's he got, 36 and to 38. So I mean, we still got Bailey with the advantage there in the 2 spot. Does Danny have advantage though? No.
Danny can get
No.
to
No.
325.
3 1/4
Yeah.
versus 3-4-3.
Yeah.
Oh.
So no. Okay. Yeah. Basically, what's advantage on the bottom there?
What a great shot.
Bottom is Mike Elder as well.
Yeah, Mike can get to 354.
Okay.
What a great frame from Okanagan there. Just
see.
sets him up for the 10th.
Oh, they get the 5-bagger.
Beauty. Oh,
Okay.
what do they call that? Yahtzee?
The Yahtzee.
Where's Daryl?
We're too professional, Adam, for these things. Okay. We just put our head down and walk off the lane.
There was a ham bone call in the comments, so
There it is.
we missed it.
Well, we might have another one here.
Let's see it. Oh, these
All
are
right.
huge right
Ham
now.
bone.
Danny, Sarah, and Cal just bringing the team back from the dead, right? Like, let's just see if Okanagan can battle back. We're going to be down to the wire here.
Yeah,
Well,
she's close here.
Basically, the point where you need force Drew to throw that first strike for the team, right? You're forced. If he doesn't finish off this match and get that point, all of a sudden they're in big trouble.
I think this is where that free willing come into play, where you're talking about
time.
Adam. Yeah,
Big time.
you could just tell there was a switch that went off in Danny that he just didn't really care anymore, and he's just like, I'm gonna huck, and then he does that.
We both did.
Yeah. Okay. See, I think this is a pivotal spare right now for Okanagan.
Drew needs to get team points here.
Yeah,
Correct.
absolutely. They
Yeah,
got to
that-
stay
that-
alive for the overall. You're right. Oh.
Yeah, so that gives Drew the first point. But like I said, for bottoms here is so crucial.
Right, but what Carrie said there about individual points, like we're talking about the overall for the whole season, right? I mean, you're going to
Yes.
need these points right now to stay alive.
Yes.
That was a big half. Okay.
Just focus on hitting that pocket here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, come on,
All right.
internet. Let's go.
All right, he got
I
it.
believe it did.
Yeah, he got it. I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got it.
What a great thrown game by Drew there. I mean, basically 2 misses in the game. One in the second frame, one in the first ball and 10. Spared them all up. Clean game all the way through. Made all the spares. Threw the one on top. You can't ask for much more.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if team manager Bailey here can bring his team back.
It's usually the moments he thrives on, right?
You know what? He's such a good player.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The kid's got ice in his veins. Him and his brother Jaden. I had the privilege of playing with Jaden a couple times in league when he lived here in Hamilton.
It's good, dude.
Yeah, great guys. They really are. You wouldn't know if they're brothers because I think they hate each other. But
Tim and Dex.
yeah, no one's that bad.
How they're twins is beyond me.
No, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Bailey's taking his time. I like this. I like how he's, just taking his time, being methodical up there.
Well, I think he knows he needs this one, right?
Yep. Does he
Get
like
that
it?
corner. He likes
He
it.
likes it. Look at him.
Hey, that's a big thief right there.
This is huge. I mean, going down to the bottom, facing those 2 doubles against Regina. This is definitely going to come down to the wire here, I think. Especially with Mike in the bottom, throwing 9 in a row on the side. You can't ask for a better guy to be down there right now in this situation. It would have been nice to see, though, how Regina would have reacted to this game if they were here.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
But kind of getting back to what you guys were saying earlier, with a lot of the Okanagan team just driving in for such a length, and I know there's a lot of scheduling issues too with taking works off, and that goes for all teams. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think that it's a testament of why we have to find these types of solutions to at least have these games go on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Come on, Kels.
Okay, that's a big count.
Count.
Yeah, big count. Got to get to 200 here. Help out your team. Just leave them with something.
She's got 201. What's Brian have here? So
He can get the 208.
all right,
Let's see if it hits a side here. Looks like he shanked it.
missed.
Yeah.
Oh, 3-pin.
Oh, was it a 3?
Yeah, 196. So chop off tie.
Yeah, so Kelsey needs a chop or more.
All right. If you're Kelsey here, are you just putting up the middle with a ton of juice, or are you trying to play the same shot?
No, just for freewheel. I don't think it changes your mentality. You got to hit the side. Oh, just missed 2. Darn.
Oh, Sarah hung the corner.
Okay. Alan, be the veteran.
That's huge points for Regina.
Did she miss that? Yes, she did.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Now we've got it. This is it right here. This is the game.
Yeah. Yeah, Alan throws his first one. It's virtual lock. Or virtual tie, sorry.
Yeah.
Going into 5.
Oh, he
little
missed.
miss.
I think
He-
that's
he-
going to do it, to be honest. But
I don't think so. I think even if he goes spare strike here, I think it's going to be within like 20 pins, right? Both with doubles going home.
Just gonna
even worse.
pause the recording here so we get a great 10th frame battle here.
What a great game by Sarah, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's huge.
yeah, absolutely.
3-2-1.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking forward here. There's no, they're down 30, 35 or something like that. They're going to need
1191 to 1219.
So 28 pins, so it's within that 30 pin mark, right? Which could be huge. Everything really falls down to Kale's first shot.
Yeah, let's see here.
He likes it.
Oh, nuke.
Absolute bomb.
He throws, he when he gets that ball sidewindered, I don't know, man. Let's see. Oh, Mike, the first blemish of the game. Oh, and he gives him an opportunity to win the game, too.
Yes.
Wow. Oh.
He punched on the second ball.
Oh. Mike!
Right through the hole.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, it didn't matter, I guess.
Not for the point.
No.
The point's secured.
Wow. The first blemish of the game there from Mike. What a well-thrown game, and just a 10th frame to just make it look like a mediocre game. Oh, wow, Mike. All right. Well, it didn't matter, but...
Since 5-3?
Yeah. 5-3 for Infinite Escapes.
Yeah. Well, what a game, though. Came down to the wire. Like you said, Regina, if they would have maybe had been there, you'd like to know how they would have responded. But overall, a great comeback by them. Okanagan, got to come back stronger.
Hey,
oh, you all right?
Yeah, it's like close up on my face. Here we go. All right, yeah. So 5-3 for Infinite Escapes. That was a really tight match there. We'll bring in our managers here. We have Mr. Devin Mash for the Regina Infinite Escapes. Hey, Devin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Incredible match. Obviously, they kind of were all even after the 5th frame there, and they kind of went all crazy there. We'll bring in Bailey as well to continue the conversation while I set up the next match, and I'll let you guys discuss for a little bit.
Yeah, actually, that was the first time I even saw the team's match. I was working Friday night, so I didn't really get to see it. It was good. And they lied to me in our team chat, too. They were like, yeah, it was just a terrible match. It was probably one of the better ones they threw this year.
Bailey, let's start off with you here. I'm going to ask a question. We were discussing on the broadcast there about basically when you pulled Chris for yourself there. Do you find that maybe you did it maybe one frame too late? Oh, I think he's muted.
You're on mute, bud.
Is that good
there
now?
You go. Yeah,
all right.
All good.
Yeah, I was kind of throwing around the idea of when to pull in my head, and it was kind of because the match was still pretty close between him and Taylor, and then once Chris punched that third time in like 4 frames or whatever, I was just like, I can do better than him.
Well, yeah, there's no two ways about it, and especially with being a player manager, we were talking about this online. Do you think that maybe sometimes that enters your mind, being the player manager, like, hey, I want to give this guy one more chance because I'm the one on the bench, or do you find do you ever think about that? Do you not
Not
care?
so much.
No.
I kind of, if he's playing well or if my team's playing well, I have no problem just sitting on the bench. But yeah, it's not something that's really in my mind. Yeah.
I've never been in that position, being a player manager, but do you guys, does it kind of become a team decision at that point, or are you talking with Chris at that point?
No, not really. It's my team kind of just puts it on me to make the decision. They trust me to make the decision, and I have limited experience, but I think this has been a great experience to learn when to make these pulls and stuff, because I've only ever been a player, so I didn't realize that at some point it does get kind of tough to make that call, especially when there's a couple people that could be pulled. So making the choice to pull one of them.
Yeah, I mean, Bailey, one more question for you. It looks like now you're going into your last game. You're going to be facing BPG. I don't know the exact date on that, but with a loss today, this is really going to hurt your chances, obviously. How do you plan to make sure your team comes back strong? Are you going to be ready to go, obviously? Or
Yep. And I just remind them that, like, we're a great team. We all have the ability to shoot well. We're obviously contenders to make the playoffs, so that's good in itself because there's such a strong field of teams. So
Yeah.
just kind of making sure everyone on the team has that confidence, knowing that they have that ability to shoot.
Yeah, Devin. Do you find that maybe when based on being on video record today, that it actually helped Regina overcome and come back that game?
It could have, but I know they were having some drinks too because it was Friday night, so they were probably that could have helped them as well.
Yeah, because their back half of their game was fantastic. I mean, they put it together. Their first half was lackluster at best, but they obviously came back. Like I said, I think that helped them out for sure.
Yeah, and just felt a little less stressed. Maybe there are a lot of younger kids, so they actually do really well, but sometimes the pressure might get to them. So maybe it did help them a little. Who knows?
Yeah.
And we were taking a look and talking like that team has 5 players in the top 100 of the 5-pin rankings, 4 of them in the top 50, like a very, very solid team. Is it just a matter of finding the right lineup for that group?
I think it's also the lanes that we're bowling at too. We get a lot of rips on those lanes. Like we were noticing, we're hitting the pocket, getting chops, getting lefts and rights quite a bit. And if they're not sparing, that the games don't come together. So,
Devin, actually, I got a question there, Devin, about the lanes. Actually, I've always heard that Glenn Cairn's a really good scoring center. Is it maybe certain pairs that aren't as good, or is it like the whole center's like that now, kind of?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the center itself is come down a little bit. Like everyone's average is slightly down a few. The 3 pins seem a little dead, in my opinion, because I bowl there Wednesday nights. So, and that's so. But yeah, overall, I think they were talking about maybe the mile being a better place to throw some games. But maybe that may be something they look to next year. But.
And Bailey, the tremendous match by Drew, his first match in. I know we were kind of talking a little bit. Where was he the first 5 matches? What was there scheduling conflicts or what?
So once we finalized all the rosters and kind of once the league's rosters got locked in, he started a new job as an elevator technician. So he's been out of town a lot in like northern BC, and typically he comes back for the weekends, but because of it's been the winter and stuff, it's not been feasible to drive back like in time for these matches. So we've just kind of been working with that. But
well, Bailey, what you're gonna have to do then is you're gonna have like a GoFundMe page for the Okanagan Eclipse to get this Drew guy back to your team every weekend, because this guy's gonna be a staple on your team for a long time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, throws a wonderful shot, and I think you guys are playing BBG Bombers week 15. So, is that one of those weeks you're going to ensure that he is there? Is basically going to be a do or die match for you guys?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, we're definitely going to try our best. I believe our match's on March 27th, so there is a lot of time before then. So, just make him. He's well aware of it, so he said he's going to try and get it off. So, just hope for the best at this point.
And a wonderful game by Mike Elder as well. Hitting that right pocket virtually every shot. A couple rips in there. That could have been a monster.
Oh, yeah. Then it was unfortunate he picked in 10, but it is what it is.
So Devin, is the team buying Sarah some presents, or because she carried their team to a victory there today?
I think they ended up buying her around a few years or something. But I know later in the night they were bowling 10-pin because I was getting some snaps off that. But they looked a little better on the 10-pin side. I don't know how they did there.
Awesome. Well, Okanagan, great match. Tough loss, but you guys are still sitting third. You're at 28 points overall, so you have a little bit of a lead on Heartland Kingpins, but unfortunately got a couple games on you yet. But anything can happen that last week, so we wish you the best of luck. And Regina, you guys have another match later in the session here, right away against T-Bay. So best of luck to you guys as well, and we'll run our second commercial, and we'll get that one rocking and rolling here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
Sorry about the little delay here. We're having technical difficulties. We're just going to run another quick commercial and hopefully we can get it all straightened out for you guys. If not, we'll have Mitch and Adam back together doing a little banter for you guys, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Hey guys, just getting settled in there.
We're all back.
Except your internet.
Yeah. Is it my internet or his?
No, it's Carrie's.
Okay.
Elon Musk.
We'll have you guys banter a little bit, and we'll get T-Base all figured out here.
Yeah, you get yourself figured out.
I'll share this for you guys. You guys can discuss this. It's all updated after that first match. So
Okay. Yeah, Okanagan with one game left. This is gonna hurt. I mean, Heartland Kingpins, they got a solid squad too. So I mean, I can't see it. I remember on the podcast a couple weeks ago, I said for my best bang for my buck would have been the Heartland Kingpins to come back. I know it's a tough division, but with that squad and the amount of games they had going, you knew they were probably going to be in the final three there on that side.
Yeah, realistically, if I'm looking at these standings as Okanagan, I'm not even looking at Heartland. I'm looking at Catch in Paradise. I think Catch in Paradise is my best chance to probably finish third in this group.
That's a good call.
And only 3.5 points back. You're talking one win versus one loss either way, right? And
yeah,
I'm not sure who Paradise finishes their last match against, but I know Okanagan's definitely against BPG, which is obviously a very solid squad, right?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. They play T-Bay.
There you go, right? And T-Bay is probably the most underrated team based on standings, maybe the most underperforming team, maybe right next to the Infinite Escapes. But that team at any point could throw up 1,500 and 8 points against you.
Yeah, exactly. T-Bay, they were on the last show, correct? I know they won the one game. Did they win them both, or did they play both? I believe they played two, correct?
I can't remember. I think they ended up losing one.
Yeah, I know they did. I thought they played the Mighty Plucks, to be honest, and I thought they 8-0'd them. but I could be wrong here.
I think they did after losing their first game. And I can't remember who their first game was against, but
that's right.
Such a solid squad. Like you looking like top down, right? That you got DeGrazia, you got Dan Taylor, Wes, Sam Sitar, John Wilcott, Taylor Michelle, and Alyssa Bonney. Like that team is as strong on paper as any team that's in this 5-pin pro league, and clearly one of the favorites at the start of this thing. And just kind of underperformed, and maybe some of the matches obviously has something to do with that, right? You're going head to head against some great talent out there, but that's the type of team you expect to win basically every game they play.
Yeah, absolutely. Our next game here is going to be Regina versus the T-Bay Club, so we're going to get a chance to see what they can do right now, because I mean, like, their last 3 games, like, we're coming down to the nitty gritty. There's only probably 2 teams or 3 teams that are not alive for this anymore. Everyone else is in play. It really is a league of parity. I know the Dream Crushers have had their way with a lot of teams, but otherwise, basically the whole league has been just a flip flop of who's beating who every time, right?
Well, I think it's kind of funny how it all worked out, like a very random scheduling and all that. But basically, the top 3 teams of both the rest of Petal and the Cargill divisions are basically playing the other 3 on the other division, the final 3 matches of the league. So, like, there's still so much up in the air, and I think if you're one of those teams that are maybe sitting 4th with 3 weeks to go, you're watching all these teams beat up on each other. That's your opportunity, but you got to grasp it. I think this match for Okanagan this morning, I definitely think they missed a huge opportunity, and they really needed that win at least, right? Get that 2 or 3 extra points. Be within 1.5 of Paradise instead of 3.5.
Well, actually, I mean, like, what about that game with Kelsey there, where she, obviously she let that one go. If they get that, they go to a 4-4 tie possibly.
Yeah.
That extra 1 point could have been the difference maker between them being in and not being in, correct?
You can't look back, right? Like, there's so many opportunities. They played 7 games now. Do you look back at one ball in seven games? You can't. You're gonna go mad doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree with that too. Carrie, what we're going to have to do here going in the future is we're going to have some sort of records here. When Dream Crushers here is looking at a projected points of, say, 46, that might be the most ever. In the inaugural season, we're going to have the most ever. That might stand the test of time.
Maybe, but the league is probably going to develop. It's probably going to have more matches. So
hey, we're only going to have 12 teams once.
And oh man,
we're going to have to have records based on schedules. Then, like, we're going to have to say, like, when they played 7 games or 8 games or whatever, this was the record. So I mean, are we going to have a cup out here, or what? Are we going to have like a cup that we send around the country?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can invest in something like
money
that.
in it.
Yeah. We'll bring in our managers here. We're still trying to figure out what's going on with T-Bay, but we'll bring in the managers and you guys can discuss.
I can tell you there's a lot wrong with them, but
so from the Regina Infinite Escapes, we have Devin Mash once again, and then from T-Bay, the Sleeping Giants, we have Taylor Michelle. Taylor, what's going on? How come you don't get your cameras working yet?
On my machine there, it's started up and it's running, so I just shut it off, turn it back on again. The old IT.
Yeah, don't you work in tech or something?
Sure do. It's real embarrassing.
It's just substandard at this point now.
Did you use the right QR code for the lane?
I hand typed in the URL, but it brought me into the same share my stuff. That might have been it. After we're done this, I'll go and slap it again. See if I can make it work.
Yeah. So get your questions to Taylor right now so he can go do his IT stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what do you
Taylor,
got for me?
I know last week you guys had you guys played 2 matches last week, correct?
No, just one.
No, just the one. Okay.
Yeah, we won 5 points from whoever we played last week.
That's more insight than I have to give, anyways. But basically, what lineup are you running with today? Do you guys have all your players here today?
Yeah, we got them. We have them all today. We have got Samson in the top because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. J Dub's in 2 spot, Alyssa 3, Wes 4, Greg 5, and I'm bench. So I'm coming in clean up if something gets a little hairy.
So this seems to be like a recurring theme for this week that we've had player managers coming off the bench. Are you going to have the same possible issue that Bailey had, where you might have waited too long to put yourself in? Are you thinking about yourself on the bench as opposed to someone else being on the bench?
It's more so comfortability wise. I pretty straightforward in bowling. I don't get too worked up or too rattled. So I want to make sure that whoever's coming off the bench isn't, worried because we basically got to win these next few matches to give ourselves a shot at the end. And I don't want somebody coming in with that extra pressure and throw them off for whatever reason. And again, that's not counting my eggs before they hatch. I might go up there and shit the bed too. You never know.
Yeah, but the question I mean though, Taylor, is like, are you going to be able to pull that trigger when it needs to be pulled, or are you going to wait too long?
Oh, Thunder Bay is notorious for fast pulls. We do not mess around. If somebody's looking shady up there, I'd rather I go in and shit all over it than watch them continue to. Then that way, that's all on me. And hey, you miss 100% of the shots you never take, right? So you got to make that pull fast.
So inspirational here.
What was the pull at Nationals that one year? Wasn't third ball?
That was 2-pin. Yeah, they only got 2 balls. 2-pin, hair pull, and he was out there. Yeah.
So, and I guess the same question I've got for you that I asked Bailey as well, Taylor, is do you communicate with the players as well before you're going to make that pull? Is it a bit of a team decision at that point, or do you just pull the trigger with what your gut's telling you?
Oh, I full on wave the shepherd's hook out there all the time. I let them know, hey, you pooch this next frame or ball or whatever.
Okay.
The hook's coming. So they generally they know, unless there's a few people that are having a rough go. Then it's kind of, you sort of just play by the seat of your pants and hopefully you make the right pull. But if there's one stinker, I let them know early that it's coming for them. Just
put the heat on them, right? See how they react.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Sounds like a true tyrant standing behind somebody on a treadmill with a sword. Go faster, eh?
Yeah, there will be blood.
Devin, now I know you through the power of video record here. You might know the future here, or might be able to text them. How are we going to be? What game we're going to be looking at here, Devin?
Oh, they'll be in top form, I'm sure. I don't want to actually lead on anything on the game. I do know what they bowled in the second game.
Okay, well, don't tell us.
But the first one was a surprise to me. So,
do you know your lineup for this match?
Yeah, they changed it on me a little bit, but it went Danny, Brian, Taylor, Sarah, Kale.
Perfect.
So they changed Taylor and Brian. They must just thought, let's rotate bad games and flip with each other. So
they did struggle that first game. So I don't mind that little bit of change. Danny finished really well, and obviously Sarah and Kale finished very, very strong. Right, you can't move those guys around. So I like the mentality.
All right, yeah, and good luck to T-Bay. Hopefully they can withstand the pressure of the pre-record.
Oh, yeah.
Should be a good match.
All right, thanks.
All right, good luck.
Good luck.
The pre-record is undefeated right now.
It is. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Taylor's system. We sent them a new link to try and get this to work. It's not working. This is
so we got pre-record on a pre-record or a post-record.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Okay, guys, let's banter about. Kerry can figure this out on his own. We can't help him. But how do you feel about this whole Taylor being on the bench thing? Because I really don't agree with it.
I hate it. I've commented a few times on it in the previous matches. Like the how many frames does he play? Like he's played literally 36 frames out of what, six games, 5 matches.
Yeah,
it's not enough. He's one of the premier players on that team, and unfortunately, having that's 7-player roster, you got to have maybe like the odd person out every game and all that stuff. But these are basically do or die matches for this team right now, and to see nothing against any of the other players, but to see a Dan Taylor and a Taylor Michelle not in the starting lineup,
yeah,
it's weird to me. It may work out. Like don't get me wrong. But it seems odd to me.
Okay, like when it comes down to like sports nowadays is all about stats and knowledge and data. Would you rather have probably your second best player play 7 frames or play 10 frames?
10.
Exactly.
Always.
So I mean, you could say, "Oh, I'm going to come in to like save the day or whatever," but your better options was probably to have one of your better players play all 10 frames. It just makes more sense.
And even in the pro league, Taylor's averaging 266.
Yeah.
He's got 2 wins out of those 36 frames, right? And I'm pretty sure 6 of those frames were him coming off of a bench, right? So to me, it's just not enough. And but who knows? Greg's been playing like garbage pretty much this whole time. So maybe he needs that player to come in. But you're going to give Greg that extra leash.
You're not
right?
going to pull Greg.
Ever.
I mean, you need Greg because at the end of the day, a switch can go off and he can find it, and then all of a sudden you win games because of it. So you need to have that.
All right, I think we're ready to go here. Let's bring in our match and have a good one. That only took how long to get figured out here? Okay, we're rocking and rolling now.
So did they end up having all their equipment to do all this today, or is it like there issues?
They had a technical difficulty with one of the pieces of equipment. So
that's good.
Got it all sorted out and ready to go.
A broken tripod, late night Saturday night session.
Who knows? This team is fairly quick, and I know the Regina Infinite Escapes were a little bit quicker than Okanagan, so this match should go fairly fast. Oh, they're playing on the left lane.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe send a message there to Taylor to maybe shank it over.
No, I can fix that.
Oh,
I
can
can
you
fix
fix
that
that?
on my side.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. All the things you can do here. So let's see what we can. Let's see what we get here out of the hibernation Giants today.
What lanes do they play out of?
You know what? I honestly don't know. I think it's Mario's, but it could be Galaxy.
They were playing Mario's, but they have switched to Galaxy due to scheduling with their setting.
Now I know I asked you this off of a broadcast before, Carrie, about the possibility of being a two center option for teams. I think there might be needed. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a definite option because we all know proprietors have different events going on, especially Sunday mornings and stuff like that. That if the proprietor can't match what the team pro league needs, and there's another proprietor that can do that, maybe week in, week out, whatever that situation. I'm not against it. It's not like you're changing the team. You're just changing the center they're playing in, and not everybody can have a Bonnie Doon to play at. So
yeah, correct. Right. I mean,
I don't think the center is gonna be the big deciding factor, in my opinion.
So for us, for example, Carrie, like we have the biggest match of the year, or maybe we get to the finals. Do we go play Bonnie Doon? Right, like it's I understand like the thought process, especially trying to work schedules and all that stuff. But all of a sudden you get into that moment. Well, why not go match next gen, head to head or something? Or I don't know. I think you pick the center that you start, and I think you play unless it's like a scenario that center closes down or something along those lines, right? But,
well, why don't we
an emergency situation?
Why don't we see what the people have to say on that one? Because at the end of the day, I think the people that are watching these things are going to want to see. If it was the case, if it was either, to be honest, if it was any Alberta team versus Next Gen or any Alberta team versus any Alberta team, I think we would like to see that both teams in the same center. I mean, what if it is a team from Calgary or Heartland Bowl or Paradise, whatever, and a team from Edmonton? Why not have these guys show up? Why not have live commentary? Why not have this ability when you guys are all so close in proximity as well, right?
Well, the funny thing is, we may have that as an opportunity. The Dreamcasters do play BPG on March 6th, and we're both going to be in the same center, right?
Yeah.
So it may have the opportunity. A lot of the restrictions are kind of being lifted in this area right now. That
Right.
that may be an option, and quite frankly, I think it's a necessity.
I think so
to
too.
have something like that. I let's get that match into what everything's designed to be for the open style. I think it would be a hell of a lot of fun to play in that match.
I think so too. I think having say that week, it's week 15 you guys play, correct? It's the second last week.
No,
it's the second. Sorry, it's
no, we're like fourth last week. We're in 2 weeks, I think. So week 14,
March 6th or something.
I think it would be
14.
I think it'd be fantastic to have the Dream Crushers and BPG go at it one-on-one on a set of lanes and having live commentary from someone. I think it'd be fantastic, personally.
Well, it's funny because there's already a bit of a spat going on that who chooses the lanes that we're playing on. And typically we've been playing on lane 16, and would not surprise me if BPG has the opportunity to steal that lane from under us.
Well, who's the home team?
Knowing Daryl, I think he would really push for that. So at that point, let's just play that head-to-head match. We could get a bit of a crowd going.
And to be honest, man, through the pandemic, we have found some things that might work. Like, why sometimes do we need to alternate lanes? When it does come to these things, you guys can stay on the same lane. It allows for pace of play, allows for flow. You don't have to go back and forth all the time. Maybe that's an option as well. Like when you do guys go square up, but you don't have to do alternate lanes. Just stay on your one lane as well. You could find it, I think, a lot easier instead of having to maneuver between lanes. I think it's an option.
I don't know. It's definitely an option. I think the preferred, if I'm going to play a real match, let's play a real match. Let's cross lane. Yeah, I don't know, because every lane has its variances, right? So if you're playing on a set, 5-5-6 at Sherwood's a perfect example. Lane 6, the 3-pin's never set properly, right? So if you're forced to play on lane 6, how many corners are you going to bury versus having to be forced to play on lane 5?
Yeah,
right?
I guess. Yeah, I hear you.
At least it's somewhat fair. Cross lane.
It's funny because when we started off our league. We started off like that, I think, the first 3 or 4 weeks before we went to cross lane. And you know what? I didn't mind it. There was people that didn't like it, but I personally didn't mind it because you didn't have to wait for the other team to be done. You just went, you just did your thing, whatever.
Sure.
But I understand what you're saying. I think there's pros and cons to all of it. As far as this match goes, I guess. What do we have here? It looks like Greg started off with a 5-spare.
Yeah, pretty slow start for T-Bay. Taylor's thrown that big double to start, kind of get the back half of that team rolling. So early, right? Like you need to start. You just don't want that bad feeling, kind of going into frames 3, frames 4, and to just see how the team's kind of gelling that game.
I think Wes is going to be like a defining factor as well. That guy is so good. Years ago, he obviously went to TSN, I think, as like a 20-year-old. Lots of experience. I think we're home. But he can definitely be a huge factor on this team as well.
I still think Greg is going to be the absolute key for both these teams. He has not looked like himself in this type of a format, which makes no sense to anybody. And even though he's very even keel, he never gets super high, super low. But there's that factor from the rest of the team that there's such a huge expectation, and when he's not living up to that expectation, everybody else's shoulders shrug a little bit, and the guy's gonna find it. But if he finds it too late, you guys the team could be in a world of hurt.
Oh yeah, they believe in Greg, right? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
If they can see him rolling, a leader like that, they're gonna get find inspiration for themselves as well, right?
And that's kind of the difference between what Kerry was mentioning in the first game here. That's kind of what Regina's missing, right? They're missing that one super reliable guy that these guys are just have expectations. I think Danny's got to be that guy, right? But I don't know if Danny believes that in himself just yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we've seen progression in Brian Askin's game, but it's not to the point of where you have that super elite factor, right?
Yeah, or even the mentality, right? Like Brian is pretty low key kind of guy. It seems like most of the time. So I don't know if he can bring that super high energy right at this point. Like I'm sure he's capable of it, but they're just missing that guy that's pumped up all the time and cheering and
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like who could they bring on like to be that kind of guy like that fits in that group? Because they have a really good core of group, like you're saying earlier about Danny and like how young they are, and they're all hanging out, and they have a good group.
There's two guys that immediately come to mind. Actually, three guys that really come to mind. I think if you get like a Brad Mowens on that team, but either the Clarks, right? Like there's so much respect in there, and that reliability factor. That they get into a lineup. Number one, you drop them down to the bottom immediately because you know they're going to play so well.
Yeah.
But those are the three big names that I would think.
Yeah,
but
Dougie for me has always been one of the top guys. I love seeing him, love watching him play, especially in match play. Guy's a stud.
Yeah. Well, so no different than Kevin, right? That match play format, they're unreal.
I know. I agree.
Realistically, the Regina should be having two teams in this pro league, just with the talent pool that they have there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Wes,
even like a
great shot.
Yeah, that's great. He's got some nice ball.
A Johnny Mowens in there would be right.
Oh,
that
for
energy
sure,
level
for sure.
too.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think he would fit right in with that group as well.
Yeah.
There's Greg. There he is.
Yeah. Complete off balance bomb.
Yeah, missed by fucking 8 boards, but it's all good.
All right, this all of a sudden becomes a bit of a big shot here for Kale. T-Bay's starting to roll. They've got a couple doubles working already. Really not a whole lot going on for Regina. They really need this quality shot here.
Mm. Oh, wow. I can't believe he can get the ball to move that as much as he does, to be honest, with the lanes that they have and as hard as he throws it. It's it's actually mind-boggling, really.
And backup. Like that hard scoop, push backup.
Yeah, it's really scooped carry. It's it's definitely on the side. It's almost like Regan, but throws it way harder.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got here? So 299 with 6 marks for T-Bay, and 309 with 3 marks. Sorry for.
Is that a kickback straight?
It's a kick. Look at him.
Yeah,
Woo.
kick.
Nice hair, Danny.
We just lost T-Bay's camera.
Yeah, this is fully expected, though. We've
there's a turkey up there, though.
Yeah, we're just gonna follow along by the scores. Don't worry about watching it. This is like being upstairs at the Broken Rack when you're watching scoring downstairs.
Right. Yeah.
Another great shot here by Brian too.
Yeah.
Big statement.
I like how they're quick up there, though. Like Taylor's ready to go. I've noticed that a lot in bowling. He almost gets it. I've noticed in curling, in comparison to bowling, like when I'm watching some of the curling lately in the Olympics, they're always ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many times they're like, yep, they're ready to shoot their shot, and there's flow. Sometimes in bowling, there's no flow where people aren't ready to go all the time.
There's a clock in place, though. They have no choice.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about a clock possibly being implemented in bowling? I know you're slow. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm just saying a somewhat clock. I'm just saying
I get razzed a ton about that, and quite honestly, I think I've actually sped up a little bit over the previous years. But realistically, I think at the end of a game, I put in probably about the same amount of time as almost everybody else, right?
Yeah, less shots, stuff like that.
Certain shots, you take your time, and those are the ones, unfortunately, that people are noticing because they're typically big shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think if the shot clock is in play and it's a decent enough time frame that you don't have to necessarily take yourself out of your game, I have no issues with it. Once it starts taking you out of your game and you start having to really push and stuff like that, and I'm sure that's what the majority of CBCs used to be, TSNs, where you only have so much time.
Yeah.
You start to get that extra adrenaline. You start pushing a little bit longer, and I think it takes away from your game. So I think it's the opposite of showcasing, the game within reason, of course.
Yeah,
It's all about production, right? Like, if you're trying to keep an audience engaged and you're selling to outside of your market, the game has to be at least decently paced that people don't get bored and turn the channel, right? So
Sure.
if you're part of the sport, yeah, you'll wait all day for a pitcher to throw a fastball, or you'll wait all day for Adam Weber to throw the strike. But if you're not in the sport and you click over to bowling and you see Adam Weber standing up there for, let's say, 20 seconds, they're probably clicking off.
Yep.
So that's where the production and that side of things, it changes the sport a little bit in order to maintain an audience level. It's not so much about showcasing the sport, it's about keeping people engaged.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about the flip side, though? Those guys that get up there and just rifle a ball within 2 seconds, right? I think that's just as detrimental to it than because now you can't have any commentary, you can't really do anything on those guys.
I would totally agree with that too.
Yeah, no, there should be a little bit of a buffer there. I agree, but there's no way that a 5-man team with quality players should be taking an hour. We should be looking at 45 minutes for these games.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, that's how I feel. I don't know. Like the last game was 45 minutes. It was great. I mean, it had a good flow, and they weren't playing all that great until the back, say, 4 frames.
The problem is you could easily have that 45-minute match if you don't have any teams on beside you. But that lane courtesy is what really slows everything down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I mean, like, you're still waiting for the other team to be done. But yes, if you're on, say, lane 2 and there's a different match going on lane 3, you've got to make sure. But yes, or in general, right, having to wait for someone else to go. Correct. I would agree with that. Yeah.
You have an open national step ladder. Most of those games take between 45 and 50 minutes because you got nobody on either side.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely. I feel like when it comes to these tournaments as well, I don't know about Alberta. Oh, my God. I'm losing them again. What is happening?
TV.
You know what? I think as commissioner, Carey, you need to start docking them points every time something goes like that.
The internet.
So Taylor makes a poll here. Interesting. See, 91-4. That's not off of a premium game. I mean, you want to be around 104.
Is it the fact it's a 3-pin miss rather than like a less than just a pitch out?
See, this is why we don't agree with it, though, Adam, is because you could have had 4 frames of Taylor with the possibility of being spare 3-bagger or whatever. Instead, you sit with 91 and you get 6 frames.
Waste 2 balls, right?
Yeah, I don't like this play at all.
Well, and another thing, like, do you like a guy coming in off of a 3-pin where now all of a sudden he's got to play like a one-board shot, versus a freewheel coming in for looking at a pocket shot for a striker, even a pitch out for your spare, right? You can throw your normal shot.
Yeah, I feel like you lost frames. I feel like percentage-wise you downgraded the team on that. That's personally how I feel, but.
No, I don't disagree with you there. It's now that said, like there's so much talent on these teams that anybody can throw at any time, and there's a very realistic chance that Taylor doesn't even get in this match, right? With that lineup, right? But I don't know. I think T-Bay's in kind of do or die right now, and I think you got to run your horses. And I don't know. That's my mentality of it.
Like you said, you can't go backwards. Like you said, the last match, you can't go backwards. You got to be focusing on the forward. And I mean, we're still in this game right here. What are they down? They're down. Looks like about 40. Well, it's actually probably going to be relatively close. It's relatively tie.
All depends what Greg throws here. Regina does have the one double working with a couple strikes.
Yeah, big shot there for Wes.
For the most part, Wes's strike matches. So basically a virtual tie going into the commercial break.
I feel like Greg's gonna have a big one here. I really do. I feel like he's sick and tired of us talking shit about him. So
I'll keep talking crap about him, but that's just because I love him.
Yeah, right through Regina triples. Okay, I spoke way too soon. Like trying to hype up the game, and so right now, like going in the break here, we're going to be looking at what 1 mark for T-Bay, and it looks like 4 marks for Regina, right? So
yeah, the big double.
The big double.
On
This
basically
is
virtual score. It's still so early, right? Like we're gonna know about 7th or 8th frame here where we're truly at in this game.
yeah. I feel like. Go ahead, run the production there, Carrie. Sorry.
Yeah, I will. No worries. So we're at 5:56 for Regina and 5:59 for T-Bay. Super close, and we'll bring the remainder of the match after our commercial break.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Alright, here we go. The last 5 frames of this match. It's super close. Obviously, it's not counting. Oh no, it's counting everything. So yeah, so we're within 3.
There's really only one match that's kind of getting away there in the 2-hole. Even the first match, down 40 at the half. You're not panic mode. You know there's still tons of score there. But Danny better get moving. Can't let this go too far.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they come back. If it's similar to last game where they go on a heater, or maybe the drinks have gotten to them.
Yeah, Danny just doesn't look in sync, if that makes sense. He's getting to the line a little off balance, even more than normal.
It looks flat, man. It looks flat. Looks like it's coming off different fingers than what he's maybe used to. Like, it looks like it's turning the ball instead of like flicking it forward. Usually he's got some good revs on his ball, and it just doesn't look like it today.
He's such a good player.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential in front of him if he takes the game serious enough. I know he does, but I know running a bowling alley can always not be so easy for you, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how these guys do it, to be perfectly honest. Watching the Wisemans and still be able to compete at that level where their brain literally just does not turn off. I've worked at a few bowling alleys when I was younger, and that in itself was very difficult, let alone owning and running.
Oh, I know. I can only imagine. Like, I know my brain doesn't stop either. Like, I think bowling all the time. And Carrie, I can imagine. I can imagine for you as well. It's almost similar to the same thing, but it's not the same as being stuck in that building all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's Taylor with a huge shot off the bench. This camera is substandard. Okay, like I know you guys got a Best Buy somewhere in Tampa Okay, in Thunder Bay.
They think they were saying that they're having issues with their Wi-Fi extender there.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
huge
excuses.
shot for Taylor though. Brian opens it up wide, and Taylor steps through the hole, so that gives him a chance.
That ball, it looks like it's really moving in Regina for a usual Regina center. That's usually like, I imagine. I played Northtown and I played Golden Mile. They're both greased to shit, and I can only imagine that Glen Cairn's something similar. That ball is really moving.
Only if they're letting it down though. Like that shot by Taylor is just in perfect flush pocket. It probably moved 2 boards. Like that's his normal shot. So
yeah,
if it's dropping off, obviously it's gonna move a bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's another guy. I still personally believe that Taylor McCaw is a very underrated player in our game. The guy makes a ton of cuts. Where's he in the overall rank?
Yeah,
I think it's like 25th or something like that. Like,
no, you're right though. He makes the Regina cut basically every year,
and that's a very difficult cut, right? Obviously, he's got the bit of a home field advantage type mentality, but the kid can play, and when he gets hot, he gets as hot as anyone.
For sure. I mean, he's learned from a couple of the best, with his dad being Doug McCaw, one of the legends of Regina.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I haven't taken a look at the 5P News standings in a long time, to be honest.
Well, who do you need? I got them all here.
What is Greg right now, to be honest?
He's 7. But
he's 7?
But he hasn't played. He's played a ton these last few years, but with that, I think it's like a 5-year rotating. So like the previous years of that, I don't think he was playing all the events. But even then, he's still top 10.
Yeah,
there's 4 years of Autumn Open missing for Greg, right? And same with you, Mitch.
Yourself,
Yeah, I played the once, obviously, and same with Greg. It's funny though. I come 7th for TPC. I go down a spot. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, you lost some points in the depreciation. I didn't make a cut in the TPC for 5 years, so my points are all 100%.
Oh, that's probably right, because I came second to Adam that one. That's probably gone now.
Yeah, you lost a bit of it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Oh, my golden years are behind me there.
I hear
it's funny.
that.
Just oh wow. Just looking at like some of these players though, like guys who don't really play every tournament, like Sylvain, like the guy who's right there, and he just it's super hard to compete with the top three guys, to be honest, because they've had such good runs the last 5 years. It's so hard to compete with those guys.
And we've been playing literally every event, right? Like one of the events that killed me was just not being able to play the TPC a couple of years back when I was down for that soccer tournament for my boys. So
right.
Even if I do anything there, I probably at least hold on to number 2, and if not, I think I overtake Dex this year. So now it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Dex has played so well the last 3-4 years. And obviously you got Tyler, who's gonna run this show for the next decade, right?
Yeah, so. Probably. You know what though? The interesting thing to come and see, like I like Tyler, and he's a great bowler. He's fantastic. He's probably generational talent. What these sometimes when we see these younger guys come up, they don't face adversity right away, And sometimes it's a matter of like how do they handle it, and how do they handle like their life situations as well that come with it. We've all been through those before. I know myself. I went through a stretch there of a couple of years where I was struggling, and I show that I'm struggling, or people don't see it, but I know what's happening, so I've got to just battle through it all the time. And it's a matter of like how do they face that adversity.
Yeah.
Well, and I know for like Tyler and even his brother, Brad, like they ended up going through like they're still in schooling and all that stuff, right? So that takes a lot away, but they've been battling adversity on tour for 5 years already. Like these guys are like 19 and they're as seasoned as it gets. They've won the major championships already, both of them. And I think they've already lived through that adversity.
I think you're right too, and I think like when you look at Tyler, he missed the cut at Autumn, but then he comes right back and he finishes in the top 4 at TPC, right? So I mean, it's a matter of like he didn't waver in his skills. He didn't second guess himself. He just came back out.
Well, and Tyler's like you call him that generational talent. And I agree 1,000%. His biggest attribute is he throws a ball that does not really get affected by lane conditions.
No.
Right? He throws it up the gut. All he has to do is basically just change his angle and make sure he's got fingers, and he can find a line.
Yeah.
We just played the Open a couple weeks ago at St. Albert, and my ball, no word of a lie, was moving anywhere between 8 and 12 boards, and being able to have to find that line where he's just going up the gut, right? And he's going to be. I'll call it right now. I firmly believe he's going to be a top 5 player ever in this sport. He's got the mentality for it that I've only seen in probably 2 or 3 people in my lifetime, and he's got the game to back it up. So he's just going to make everyone around him better as a team. But I see like huge thing as an individual player.
I'm going to go back to that in a second. I'm going to just talk about this game really quick, and then I'll go back to that, Adam. So it's 7:59 right now for Regina to 7:47 for T-Bay. T-Bay has, it looks like, 5 marks and 1 mark for Regina. I mean, this could be where T-Bay takes off and takes the reins. They definitely need to.
They have
like we said before, they've got a couple games left. They've got 3 games left. And they really need all 3 to make it in. They got to go on a huge run. And what's the possibilities here of looking at some numbers? Let's see if Taylor can come back, because obviously he put himself in there for a reason now, and maybe he's going to make us look stupid when he does bang out.
Well, no, because then at that point we're going to be saying, well, why didn't you start?
This is
right?
true.
Like it's
this is true.
Great shot by Sam.
But we could be looking at a 7-1 or an 8-0 here. For I want to keep saying Tampa. Jesus.
I know every second.
We could be looking at that right now. Is it? And they're definitely going to need it.
Yeah, this is a huge shot for Taylor.
Going back to this really quick.
Pitches.
Yeah. See if you can stay black. The golden ages of bowling that people refer to. The late '90s, the late '80s, the early '90s. Whatever the case may be, I truly believe this in my heart of hearts, that bowling now is tougher than it has ever been. People can fight me on that. They can argue with me all they want. Yes, the player pool was bigger back then, but it was more spread out. You never see these 250 entry tournaments like you do now. And the centers that we have to play are so much more difficult mentally than they have ever been.
Yes and no. I agree with that. Like the tour tournaments right now basically force you to bring that game up, and you're starting to see it. It's extremely difficult to win a tournament, let alone top 4 or even top 8 in a tournament. I think the only thing I would disagree is the simple fact that all these lanes are virtually identical, with the synthetics versus the wood. Right?
Okay.
So there's so much technology difference between the so-called eras, and that's why I think you have to keep them in the mindset of eras.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair to say. But if you had to compare eras, because that's just what we do in North American sports, to be honest, in general.
Yeah.
With the black bases now, and the way and personalized balls and what, like, I know personalized balls have like sort of been as perfected as they're going to get, because we're never going to see like a technological ball or anything like that. But as far as that goes, it's as advanced as it's going to get with the rubbers and everything like that. But now that the scoring is so, I want to say the word easy in a lot of the centers that we play, it's now forced you to forget everything you used to think about, where spares are so much more important. Yes, they're needed, but you need to run strikes. And if you can't mentally grasp that, then you can't succeed in the game today.
No, I definitely agree. The mentality side of it, I think, has actually made this game easier as well, because you are forced into that situation more and more than maybe you used to have to be. But yeah, you can compare eras. I think the talent of some of these players back in the day. You're talking 80s, 90s, like maybe even 70s.
Yeah,
I think the talent was probably on par, if not better.
I don't disagree with that.
Right now, though, I just think the simple fact that you're playing on consistency, and just literally all you really have to focus on now is the mental game, and bring your mental game up there, because the execution is just so repetitive. I think it's an easier game now, but I think it's also more difficult based on just how good this pool is, and the size of the pools.
Yeah, no, I used to say this comparison. Oh, big shot there for Taylor with a 30. Yeah, that's a big fight now. Like,
big.
yeah, I've always said the same thing about when I play duck pin. It's a harder game, but it's easier to be good because the player pool isn't as good. So you can kind of suck for a little bit and then come back. It's not a big deal. Whereas now in 5-pin, especially when you go to places like Regina, it's an easier game, but it's so much harder to be good because of the player pool.
Well, and you're always thinking about what that end number is, and when you're talking averaging 275 over 8 games, and game 5 you're sitting okay, and you come back and shoot a 220.
Yeah.
Well, now your mentality is I need a 3.5 just to keep that pace again. That's a very daunting task on the brain.
Absolutely, and especially, but like match play is match play. It's similar. I get it, but it's a matter of knowing, like being able to block it out. Like, hey, I need a 4-bagger here, or hey, I need to keep throwing strikes because that's all that matters. Sure, you get roasted a couple times. Like, you got to make sure you get your spares. But at the end of the day, if you're not throwing strikes in Regina, you're probably not winning games.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, I personally have that opinion where I think bowling now is tougher than it's probably ever been to compete. That's just my opinion. But I understand what you're saying, Adam, about eras, because I
guarantee. Ask any of those guys from the 70s and 80s; they'll tell you the opposite, right? Because
they will tell you the opposite.
We're living in this era, right? We're playing in this era, right? So we've got those biases, right? That those guys maybe not, but and that's why I don't think you can fully compare the two. Like, you can make your assumptions and kind of your pros and cons of both sides of it, but the game is alive and well, and the talent in this country is probably never been better as right now.
No, I agree, and I think the WCBT has allowed these players like Bradley and Tyler, and the list can go on about these young kids like the Gilardis, Derek Orrin, stuff like that. You can go through this whole list of like all these kids. I think WCBT has made them into what they are today, and it's even made us better at them. Like, you can look back.
It forces us to get better.
Well, Adam, you can think back to 10 years ago when we used to show up to Regina and just be like, okay, get me my 2100, get me in, and don't worry about it. And now it's forced us to have to be like, no, we have to play at the top of our game at all times.
And 2100 was a solid number. Try going to the Autumn Open where you can shoot 1940 and still get in the top 40. Right?
Yeah.
Back in those days, right? They only had the 115, 125 players the first couple years at Paradise, and now that's grown, in my opinion, mainly because of the WCBT, right? And you get this point system, and just being part of that type of a group and getting on tours, just making these players more comfortable playing against each other, and you get out there and you can actually compete and the talent of the game is what's showing off now. It's not the mind games and who can throw the other guy off that maybe it used to be back in the day, right?
Yeah, no, it's not like that at all. Just quickly going off here. What do we got here? We got 4 marks to 3 marks.
This is a very, very big 10th frame. We've got a couple doubles up top and down below on Regina. And those are going to be the big shots here that kind of determine what's going on.
I feel like Sam just really rushed that first shot. Just got up there and hucked it and didn't take her time. And I feel like maybe on this 12th ball here, she will.
Yeah, great half though. Such a needed half.
Oh, that was a big chop.
I think it was a chop strike.
Oh, did he get the strike?
Yeah.
Oh, he does the Jordan. Eh? He's like, I don't know.
Oh, and then bows. Love it.
Oh man. Okay.
It's such a huge shot. Even the kickback deuce there would have been massive.
Oh man. Okay, this is going to come down to the wire. We've got 2 matches here today that have come down to the wire. Taylor,
Great
he
ball.
throws a sweeping bomb. That's good.
Another good shot. That's huge for team totals.
This was just another game where Danny was able to come back right from the depths.
Yeah. He finished with 265 in the first match today, and now he's going to finish in the 280s most probably.
Nice six-bagger for 280, eh?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That looked pretty pushy.
Oh, he chopped it. Yeah, and now we're going to be asking ourselves here, like we said, if Taylor would have started this game, I mean, where would they be?
Correct. Now, if Taylor spares this, he's got 232 and 9, so he's up a pin. He now forced this first strike for Brian.
Oh.
So huge finish.
That was a huge finish, yep.
But again, yeah, where we've got to ask him, why are you not playing a full game?
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think Adam, that's got to be our first question for him. He's got to accept the role that he should be playing, and not looking at other players on his team. I firmly agree with that.
Huge shot by Alyssa there too, being a pin down going home. Absolute bomb, buries through. Must spare, obviously.
Making sure that spare, absolutely, yeah.
Take your extra time.
You guys got a kind of I know we're finishing up this match here really quick, but there was a question in the chat from Aaron. He was asking, does it count when 250 entries are literally only 170 bowlers?
Well, there's still more bowlers now than there was back then playing these tournaments.
Yeah, more competitive players playing these events, for sure there is.
Oh, a huge shot by Taylor.
So where I want to know where Aaron's going with this. Sorry, I can't see the chat, obviously. So I want to know where Aaron is. This Aaron Arndt that's asking this question?
No. Aaron Humney? I'm not sure.
Oh, sorry, I've never met him, but that was a big shot there, eh? For Taylor.
Big shot, Taylor.
Taylor banged it, yeah.
I think what makes these tournaments so much more difficult, to be honest, is the fact that we can re-enter. You give us 3, 4, 5 tries at it. Yeah, people are going to find it, no matter who you are, and
especially the upper end.
Yeah, but I've always advocated for these people. Anybody, just go out there and just keep spending money, because at the end of the day, it'll make you better, and you'll find it. You will, if you just believe in yourself.
Wes needs this.
You got it. Nice. We find out for the X
as the camera goes down.
It just looks so solid at the line. He's got to put up a big finish here for totals. Greg's absolutely needs that first one.
What are we looking at here right now?
I suspect Kale is going to throw a big first shot.
This could be a 5 game anyway, 5 spot, and it could be a 6 spot. Thunder Bay really needs this.
Probably want to pause this.
Yeah, I was going to say, pause that, Kerry.
You bet.
Look at the focus in Kale right now. Is that a pick? Is that what it looks like? Or
it looks like it to me.
Yeah, I would say that's a hit.
Yeah, let's watch. Let's watch Greg's first ball here, because that's really going to be the determining factor.
Mm-hmm. Kale on a double, and you know what? You don't know what he's going to do here. I know he's a solid player, but I mean, obviously you've seen recent history here in the 7th frame where he's gone pick through the hole. But it looks like he bounced back with that double. What did he got it?
Strike. Looks like a strike.
I really wish
all the pressure.
Our IT department in Thunder Bay would get that camera up and running.
Yeah,
Oh, it's corner.
Greg missed.
Oh, it was a corner.
Right corner.
He got it. Okay, so Greg missed. Is that dead in the water here?
Yeah, I believe totals end the individual game.
Wow.
Yeah. So Regina can get to 12-16.
Glad you see that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what you're looking at. 12-6. So it is over.
And Regina's at 11.78.
Yeah, 11.93 out.
Or sorry, T-Bay was at 11.78.
I mean, I know Greg's got to throw these, but it really does come down to what we've been saying this whole game here. I think, Adam, is Taylor plays this game. Who knows where they would have been?
Yeah. And pretty solid, like, shooting all across the board, right? But there's a different mentality when you got all your horses going, and especially if they're all running.
Yeah.
But like we said, you got to take a look down at the bottom, and there wasn't a whole lot going on with Greg. He kind of got into that strike plow mode, and if he's not running, right, the other guys kind of feel like they got to go. Another very solid game by Sam. Sam, even coming into this, she was averaging 2.5 and already had 3 wins. So another very solid performance.
So
unfortunately, Danny got her.
Is that a 6-2 for Infinite?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this is not going to be good for Thunder Bay's season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll update the sheets there, but we'll bring in our managers. Once again, we have Devin Mash for the Infinite Escapes, and Taylor's just popping in here too. All right.
Hi-yo.
Well,
Hey, guys.
I got the first question here from Taylor. And I mean, this all stems back to the first question that Adam and myself asked you earlier today. Basically, man, like, I feel like you've got to be playing these games, the whole game, because you're seeing how you're finishing these games. But imagine if you would have 10 frames for yourself instead of just 5 frames. Like, do you feel like that was possibly a determining factor?
That's the what if game. I could have come on there and went 4 plows in a row, and then we made the pull and I come out. So it's really, 6 to 1, half dozen to the other. I feel that for that, my reasoning behind the pull was at the time, whoever their 2 spot was starting on a string of strikes. J-Dubs was hitting, so I couldn't fault him for that. But he was even making those spares. He's falling behind, a ball and a half at a time. And like you said, you got to make the pull early because, if you leave it too long, that guy throws another 2. J-Dubs goes another corner whack, and now we're, 75 back in that match. So I think time-wise, it was an okay pull, but not knowing what I may have thrown the first half, that's always the what-if statement.
I know, but you have a premium player in yourself, and it just seems like data-wise or percentage-wise, it's more valuable to have 10 frames of yourself than it is to have 5.
Yeah, I was hoping this match was going to be quasi as tight as it was, and there was going to be that linchpin pull to steal that 1 point, get that extra 90 count going into 10. That was my, optimal plan goal, which, the world sucks, never goes the way you want it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, no, that plan did work out. You did come in and you did get those extra sticks, right? What did you see from, like, I don't know, we always talk about Greg a lot, right? We understand, he's a premier player in this game. Another struggle down at the bottom there. Did that force you guys a little bit differently throughout the game?
Yes and no. I think we all know Greg's not super high energy, whether he's throwing 42 strikes in a row or 62 headpins. So
that's true.
I think in terms of him as himself, it's not really a detriment whether he's bowling good or bad. It's just that's why we have him at the bottom, because when he's up there, we need him to make that shot. He's got to make that shot, right?
Yeah. Devin, another comeback win here for Regina, playing spoiler for the whole year, basically. Did the drinks help here, I guess, or what? Like,
yeah. The boys all took a cab or a first choice home, so I think they had a good night. So
smart.
Helped, so.
Oh yeah,
we can maximize some team scores with a full cab ride home too, I'm sure.
Well, it definitely another really slow start as a group for you, Devin, and I think that huge finish, once Danny starts getting going up top there, all of a sudden everybody else started kind of freewheeling a little bit as well, right?
Yeah, he must have, since he works at the lanes, must have fixed that lane for the last one in 10 or the first one in 10. That was the weirdest strike I've seen in that set of lanes. So,
it was huge. Obviously, Taylor, you probably didn't see it, but because Danny had a triple going home and got a chop strike out of it.
Okay, I heard them talking about it. Like, did he get a chop or a corner? And then they're like, well, it's show and strike. And I was like, yeah, mother.
Yeah, obviously, huge for count for both the match and the team totals, right? So, and then threw a double on top of it. So
So Taylor, now looking forward to playing against the Mad Hatters. This is basically it, man. Like, you guys have 2 matches left. You're gonna have to run probably 2 sevens to have a shot.
Yep.
Are you gonna be making a Are you going to be making an adjustment as far as the lineup goes? Like, are you going to be putting yourself in there, or are you going to be continuously just try this, putting you on the bench, this experiment?
Yeah, I think I'll probably go in 4 spot, do the 4-5 or the 5-4, depending on what Greg's feeling. Maybe I'll take 5 spot, put Greg 4 spot. We'll have a mid-team discussion here afterwards and see. He was very Greg DeGrazia with himself when he missed the middle in the first ball in 10. So we'll see where he's sitting.
Go get that guy a drink. BG
So great second match, guys. Devin, Infinite Escape season unfortunately is over now. You've completed all 8s and fell just shy of a division spot. But thanks very much, and we hope we get you as a guest commentator or something going for playoffs, or get you guys involved. But great season for the Infinite Escapes, and tough first season.
Yeah, for sure. We had a few rough games at the start there, but came on near the end here. So looking forward maybe next year and see the team succeed. So, and now just going to watch the Super Bowl, so we're good.
Perfect. All right, well, we'll run our second commercial, and then we'll bring in our next match. So Taylor, get that video working.
Yeah.
Is it still down?
It just went down at the end of the last match. So.
Oh, okay. I'll go slap it and see what I can make happen.
Figure it out.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
All right, so our last match of the day, we have the T-Bay Bowling Club versus the Panorama Mad Hatters. We have must be a new player manager sitting in for Panorama Mad Hatters. We're going to bring him right in here and have a little discussion while Taylor tries to get T-Bay's crap figured out. How's it going?
Oh, doing all right, you guys?
Hey, Troy.
Doing all right.
Mom's down a couple lanes throwing some games with taking some masters or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now you're the player manager for this match?
I guess so. Player coach, player manager, whatever you want to call it.
Perfect.
Is she going to be watching and making that poll for you if needed?
Oh, I'm thinking so.
Let's take a look at these standings and then the projections here. Okay. Okay, so Mad Hatters obviously only got 3 games left. It's been a rough go this season for you guys. But you start off the back end here, like trying to finish off the season strong. What's going to be looking like your lineup for today?
Well, we're kind of going with the traditional one. I'm starting Larry second, and Michelle, and then David and Derek at the anchor. So we'll just see how that rolls, and hopefully things go our way for a change.
Yeah, absolutely. Finish off the season strong. Go back to the drawing board for next season, and come back. So
Still not mathematically out of it by any means, right? But definitely need a big match today. You guys have the Mighty Plex and the Holy Rollers both on show 14, so both winnable matches as well. But definitely need a good team effort today.
For sure, yeah, that's what we're looking to do. And
yeah, you never know if you do go 7-7-7. I mean, you could be looking at the 34 number, and if Paradise does lose that last game and Okanagan, like you never know, right? It's there.
Never know.
It is there, actually, yeah. Sam, I guess you're joining us now?
I was trying to figure out the camera.
Oh, yeah, you can't figure out much. Have you guys discussed what you guys are going to be doing this game? I know, Sam, you've been staying strong up at the top. I imagine you're going to be staying in that spot. Have you guys put any more thought into this?
Yeah, so for our lineup, we're going with me at the top still. Then we're going to have Dan in, Alyssa in 3, Greg in 4, and Taylor in 5, and Wes on the bench.
Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to be more of a lineup that we would have predicted for these guys. Sam, you've had a great season all year for the Sleeping Giants. Do you find that this has maybe like helped your game personally, or do you find like it's progressing because of that?
Yeah, I find it's helping my game a little bit. It's different bowling with the guys, so it's giving a different aspect to my game for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Do you enjoy this sort of format? Like, for the people that are maybe looking for teams for next year, do you enjoy this format?
At first, I found it awkward because you didn't really have any bowl to bowl against in person. But as we started getting more into it, I like the format. It's fun. It's different.
Troy, how do you guys feel as a team, like going towards next year? Do you guys like the format as well? Do you guys like all the like the pregame interviews? Do you like the postgame interviews? Do you do you find like it actually brings a professional event?
Oh, I'd say it's like Sam said. It took a couple matches to get used to it, but now with we got a TV set up so we can see the other matches better and kind of engage in the game a little more there. And yeah, I think the formats works very well. And other than a few glitches here and there, I think it's working out quite well across the board. So I'm looking forward to next year.
That's good.
Well, and I think it kind of gives some of the players on your team that extra tournament mode. I know a lot of them don't, consistently play on the, the WCBT. Obviously, everybody plays the Open, which is, very similar to this. But it gives everybody kind of that extra little experience without having to really travel.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
No, I agree too. That's a big plus to it for sure. And you get to see a lot of other bowlers from other places too that you generally, even at some of the tour events, you don't run into them. So I think it's really good for the game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we seem to have the cameras up, so we might as well take advantage of it. Let's get this match going. Good luck, everyone.
All right,
good luck, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Good luck.
All right. We have the scoreboards working. The lanes look like they're working.
Yeah, that's more the lineup that I've been expecting from T-Bay from the very beginning, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
That
sad
is
that it took this long to
lethal
get there.
lineup.
Yeah, it took this long to get there for them, and now if they do go 7-7 and they do maybe not make it in, they're going to be kicking themselves, thinking, why didn't we do this maybe a little sooner? It's always, hindsight's always 20/20.
Of course.
But let's see them come out this game. I can guarantee they're going to come out and shoot a monster, and then we're going to be looking like this is the team we expected to see all season.
Yeah, well, watch out for Greg this game. I know he cannot be super happy with himself. I'm sure that Taylor was kind of telling him that we were giving him the gears yet again. I definitely expect a monster game out of him. And David's going to be in a bit tough, but I think David could match him. He's got that mentality. The underdog, the kid can play. And I think it'll be a fun match there.
Yeah, you're not going to keep a guy like Greg down for that long. I'm sorry, he's not going to go a whole season and just play like that. It's just not going to happen. Greg's going to enter that mode that he gets into when he gets down on himself and he just comes out of the hole. We've seen it too many times. That doesn't change. We've seen it for 10 plus years. History will repeat itself. Yeah,
good shot for Troy to start.
Yeah, great start.
Oh, well, so you don't have to do any pausing or anything like that anymore, Carrie. So that's
no, this is all live.
I'm not too familiar with some of the Mad Hatters. I've met Troy before.
Shot by Larissa.
David I've met before as well. But other than that, not too familiar with them.
Yeah, Larissa and Michelle, the two ladies in the middle of the lineup, they play a lot of the local tournament stuff, and they've done Unreal. They're on open teams and stuff like that. They're really solid. And then did you mention Derek Lewicki there, Mitch?
Sorry, no, I've never met him either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's been a staple in South for a long time. He's
very long time.
He's competed for open provincial titles a few times.
Oh, okay. I saw a video actually, Adam. I can't remember who. I want to say you were actually facing Carrie. There was, I guess, here at Open Provincials.
Yeah, it was here. Yeah.
It was here, right? Yeah. You know what? Didn't look too easy, though.
Very, very difficult lanes in comparison to some that are out there. We really noticed it because we were playing on the Wednesday, but before lanes kind of broke down, there was, if I remember correctly, there was a ton of oil out there, and it definitely did not play easy.
Okay. Was it in the finals that you guys played?
Especially for hard checker.
It was in the final, yeah. I think I shot back-to-back 300s in game 9 and 10 in order to get into the step ladder. And then it was Derek faced Gino, and I think Derek won that match. And then Derek played Gary Baird. Gary won that match. Gary played me. I beat Gary, and then I had to play Adam for the title, and Adam put the boots to me.
Do you guys have double life in Alberta?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you were like chopping in aces or something. I think I had a really good first half of that game. It was basically over at half.
Yeah, I had aces.
God.
If I did anything in 9-10, I think I had a chance to pass. Yeah, but
yeah.
Okay.
It was rough.
But speaking of Derek, Derek ended up winning the South Zone for that singles this season. I don't know how many titles he has down there, but it's got to be probably about 5, 6 that I can think of.
Oh, really? He's a staple down there as well.
Yeah, no, he's a very, very solid player. He's typically on the men's team every year, along with a few of the other guys that are down there.
Does majority of their players play the Open out of the South? They're from the South, correct? Sorry.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So do majority of their top level players play the Open, or do they maybe skip?
No, most of them play the Open.
Yeah,
I think there was a stretch there where some of the bigger names like the Danny Rattais and Derwin Nobles, some of the local staples, they kind of took it off. The Rob Prices of the world, there's plenty of talent down there, but they weren't always playing.
Right.
Now you're starting to see some of the older generation kind of come back and play some of these events. I saw Danny Rattai ended up making the men's team this year.
Wasn't Curtis Deering from this zone?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think he was that spark that you needed on that team. He could obviously hold on to a team pretty much from start to finish.
Yeah,
and they really haven't had that person down south for quite some time. Derek could be that guy. I think Rob Price could be that guy, but they don't have that X factor down there.
Right now. My very first nationals in 2009. We were playing the South was on that. That was Rob Price and Curtis Deering were on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alexander Young is one that could,
Alexander
could
Young.
take that team. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Troy coming on, Troy's definitely played a lot more over the last 3-4 years. A very, very solid player. Even in the pro league here, he's averaging 245. He has 2 wins in 40 frames.
Right.
And he's typically playing in that lead where he's going up against some of that high end talent across the country.
Yeah, I swear Alexander Young and Cody Steer throw the exact same ball.
Very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, both tremendous players, especially when they're on. Xander, I think, has mental lapses that really kind of take him out of matches.
Yeah.
I think he's got that X factor if he wants it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's I think work is getting in the way of a lot of his bowling here as of the last couple of years, but when he first burst onto the scene, he was electric. You would pretty sure he was gonna take teams, and he was an all-star, I think, in the Open the 1 year and stuff like that. So yeah, he's lots of talent there. The South is full of talent. It's just getting the right teams together and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great shot by Dan there.
There you go. Yeah. That's what they need. They just need to have their full team there and playing. And I think they just tried to play it too cute for most of the season. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, and it goes into, you want everybody to have, somewhat equal frames. Everybody's paying the same share into this. And at some point, that mentality has to kind of stop. And you gotta run your horses. That's what this is all about. Like, if you want to get to the playoffs, you got to get there with your horses. Just the way it is.
I've always said this as well, Adam. In the Open, the amount of times that I played the Open and I've been on teams where you've had maybe one player that might not have been as strong as the rest, and no one's ever had that mentality of like, okay, just play with 5. And sometimes I think that's actually the right course of action to go about. A lot of people disagree with me, obviously, basically in the interest of fairness. But
in general.
Yeah, in general, right? But in the interest of fairness. And I just think, there's times where teams probably could have won if they just weren't playing the fair role. If they weren't, having people play that probably shouldn't have been playing, they probably would have won a lot of games. No one's ever gone to try out the strategy because, I don't know, it's too much people caring about people's feelings sometimes, right?
Yeah, when you're playing at that level, and everybody on that team wants that gold medal, no matter how you get it.
Yeah.
At that point, the tough discussions have to come out, and quite frankly, that's when you need that pure coach to make those decisions, to have those conversations, to force a buy-in. Right, if Greg's garbage and Greg is better on the bench for that team to go win gold at that moment, that's where he belongs, right?
Yeah, and like I said, it's just never been tried. I'd be all for it, believe me. If someone was telling me, okay, we're gonna go with this lineup, we're just gonna sit on the bench for the first 4 games, you're probably not gonna play at all ever, even if we're getting slaughtered, whatever. I'd be like, okay, fine. But I think a big thing with that is that, Adam, we play so many tournaments. I think a lot of people believe that they need to be playing for sometimes ego portions or whatever. I have no thoughts in my mind that I'm not any better than these people because I'm not playing or where I'm playing or what position I'm playing or whatever. And I feel like a lot of these things come into play with certain people.
Yeah, you know what? I think in our younger days, we probably had that same mentality though.
You're right.
We didn't want to get pulled. We want to be in this match. We want to be competing. It's not necessarily an ego, hey, I'm better than this guy type thing. It's that I want to be there to produce for that team because that's why I'm there, right?
Yeah.
So, but sometimes we have to be in check, and I know my mentality's changed probably more over I'd say the last decade than the previous decade. Where I'm definitely more bought in. If you want to throw me in 2, you want to throw me on the bench, I'm here to help the team. But with the caveat, if you're going to put me somewhere, tell me why, right? Mm-hmm. Have that open discussion. this is what's going on. This is my thought process. Because if you just start making moves as a coach and like it just doesn't look right, like the optics don't look right, the team looks confused or whatnot, right? All of a sudden, your team's not going to gel, right? As long as there's like a group discussion, that's why these great teams, I'm talking like teams, end up playing so well at the highest level.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Obviously, not to get too much into depth here, but when it comes to like making your own team or whatever, like I said, not to get too much into depth, we have never had a tournament like that where people can go with their own teams and be able to have that foundation or like building upon it, right? Having the coach know and having everybody be comfortable with it. It's just a bunch of guys that happen to live in the same city that play together. And then some of them are friends and some of them don't know each other at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those would be different factors too when you are playing with people that you actually want to play with. And I think you wouldn't have to explain it as much sometimes because you would just be, it's already known. It's already open. Everybody's has any kind of options, whatever. Everybody knows. But yeah.
Well, even in that scenario where all of a sudden you're starting to pick your own teams and things like that, we've seen teams try to pick the best players on paper. You get them together, and now you got egos and all that stuff, and nobody wants to play 2 in a 3-player team, right? Little stuff like that. It's not always the best players on a team. Like you got to find a right gel on that team. Like me, you, and Greg in Regina, we've been garbage.
We have been. Yeah, we're gonna give it one more shot.
Why not?
Yeah, no, and that's it. But like, it's not like we don't like each other. That's the thing, right?
Of course.
If I didn't like you, I wouldn't play with you anyways.
Yeah.
So that's just me. It doesn't matter how much skill you have.
That's why you never invite me on a team, Mitch. What's going on?
Swear to God, we were supposed to play somewhere together. I just don't remember.
I think I got there first.
Fine, Carrie. Let's play Red Deer together. How about that?
Sorry, my team's full.
Oh wow. Okay.
Weren't we already playing that with Dex?
We were. But I just expected him to say no.
Funny.
No, I think when it comes down to these egos, like you've got to have people that fit into certain slots, right? Like people that agree with things, and everybody's going to get along. You have to have that team chemistry. I don't always believe it's the best players all the time. I believe in having good team chemistry with some skill, and having certain players for certain positions.
And
look
you
at
have
this
to have a great
third
coach.
frame by Panorama.
Oh, sorry there, Kerry. We could actually talk about the game, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this ain't a podcast. This is pro.
It looks like their strikes aren't being counted in, eh?
No, they're
I don't
not.
believe so.
Unfortunately.
This is going to be a tough one. I think with that system, you can do it as well, though. You can have them counted in.
I'm sure they can, yeah.
But
yeah,
right now you're
we've had to do this
plus
every
90.
time.
Plus 90?
Basically plus 90.
Okay. So basically, we're going to be walking in right into it. Slow start for both these teams. Greg with 2 power chops, obviously. That's
You could tell he's not comfortable at the line. So I don't know if that's a speed thing or trying to force it. He looks off.
Yeah. I think it's the haircut.
Well, and he's going to be, well, actually, probably yourself as well. Timmins next week?
Yeah, Timmins is, we leave this Thursday, both of us.
Or the DeGrazia Open, or whatever you want to call it.
Did he get a strike there?
Left
corner. We got corner, left corner.
Yeah, like I said, like when he plays Timmins, he's too good, man. It's just sometimes not even fair. I'm telling you, it's just I've said it so many times where he gets like basically an extra quarter of the head pin that he can hit to get a strike that you can't get. And he gets these kickbacks and he doesn't throw hard. And I mean, everybody gets kickbacks there, but he gets more of them. But he's putting himself in that position as well. He's putting the ball in the proper spot and everything like that. He's just so good there. I don't know how many T-Bay guys are going to that though this year. It seems like there's
sound like a whole bunch. No,
it seems like there's a less turnout, but they've got no lineage there, so it's still gonna be a good payout. Everything's gonna be like that. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, that was awesome to hear. The town of Timmins is putting their accommodation tax back into the tournament, back into sports to help promote more accommodation, right? Like,
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
hotels are relying on this tourism, and they're finally putting money back into the stuff that's bringing in the tourism. So,
Well, they said that the Holiday Inn Express, where the host hotel is that this is their best year in obviously 2 years, or their best
Yeah.
weekend in 2 years. So,
right.
Definitely going to be a contributing factor.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome to hear, and hopefully more communities around sports look into that, right? And start putting that accommodation tax back into the sports. They're filling these hotels and stuff like that.
Didn't even know that even existed, to be honest.
Quite frankly, like
Really?
the tournament committees just have to make that call or that email. I would assume the majority of these cities or towns will probably be very open to that.
Well, yeah,
Right?
if Timmins has it, then you would think someone else has got to have it. I didn't even know it existed.
Oh yeah, you go any hotel room you stay at, there's a tourism levy that you pay,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yep.
And that goes to the city, and the city uses it for funding for like the events that bring in that tourism. So, yeah, Al obviously put in a lot of work to get them involved. So
That's his baby. He loves that tournament, right? I mean, it's just like you and the 5PU, or me with the Invitation, or Tim and Dex with the TPC. Same thing, right? That's their baby, and that's what they want to. They want to have the best possible tournament that they can have. And I mean, for a tournament that's 8 hours away from civilization, it's pretty good.
It's truly remarkable for the numbers that they get out there, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, I don't know too many T-Bag people going this year. I'm not totally sure. I feel
Shot. That's a big ball by Alyssa.
Yeah.
You're getting more people out of the Toronto region, right, Mitch? There's not so much. Obviously, all the Quebec guys are still going, correct?
Yep, they're going, and they don't even have bowling alleys open yet. And that's mind-blowing.
I heard that Sly and Max actually pulled out of Regina.
Did they?
Oh, really?
What? Just they're not playing right now? So they said.
Yeah, probably not going to waste that amount of money, right? If they don't feel confident, they're going to try their guns at Timmins maybe first and see if they win some money. I'm not too sure.
That may change, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's kind of surprising. Wow.
Yeah,
well, I think I saw that Sly ended up in Ottawa practicing a bit, right? Just
they went to Maryville there, I saw. That's where our provincials are.
But I'm sure they're just not sharp, right? So it's tough. It's a big commitment for all these travel tournaments.
I'm surprised though, because they know the owners of the bowling alleys. You know what I mean? Like, well, let's be honest. I bowled through lockdowns too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could go there. You just can't obviously run your leagues and stuff like that, or
can't be a public place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Big shot there for Taylor with a double.
Great count and spared by Michelle as well. That's big to keep the marks running.
Yeah, Greg there with the spare continuum.
Another chop.
Yeah, he'll find it. You know he will.
Well, you know he's close. That's just it, right?
Yeah, you know he will.
So T-Bay sending a decent crew, like Greg, Neil, Trev, Matt, John DeGrazia, John Wilcott are going. Quebec obviously are sending 8 to 10. Apparently, Al is saying so.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they do have some people that go in from T-Bay. Okay, sorry, Al. I didn't look too intently at the list. I guess I probably should have.
Before commenting.
Yeah. We know from my area that we're gonna have a fair bit. We've had some people pull out just due to lack of bowling as well. Commitments, whatever. You see it all the time. People sign up for something and then they bail anyways. It just happens in bowling, right?
Yeah.
But it's a great tournament. It's not overly expensive to do the weekend. The hotels are not cheap, but you can put some people in the rooms and whatever. But the hotel is in the same plaza as the bowling alley, so it's grid that way. You can everybody hangs out, everybody mingles. I don't know what they're gonna do with these like COVID restrictions where they think they're not gonna have people in a room, but whatever.
Yeah, Regina is kind of the same thing. They're the restrictions are kind of pulled except for masking, right? So it's going to be interesting seeing how the hotels police that kind of situation. I'm not too sure
Yeah,
what's
I
going
don't
on
know.
with that.
Slippery slope, I assume. Like, you don't want to
Yeah.
kill the hand that feeds you, I guess, or bite the hand that feeds you. I don't know.
Yeah.
See how that goes. So 5 marks here for T-Bay to 2?
Just correct.
Yeah.
2. Wow, okay. So we got a pretty close game here, actually.
Yeah, it's
So far in.
still relatively close. Couple matches are getting a little out of hand for TB, but realistically, very very solid match for both.
Yeah, that double at the bottom is huge.
Yeah. I mean, Taylor just showing like why he should be in the lineup all the time.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We're not going to let him live this down.
No.
He spared a split on his first show, so that should
Did he?
tell you should be in the lineup all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, did he not start on the bench his first match too? Didn't play that first one? Or
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
ridiculous. Terrible coaching.
I'm not sure what's happening with Sam. I did see the punch.
I'm guessing a
Don't know if there was
kickback
a
maybe?
kickback. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, they're good with it.
Get fired up for that pinning, eh?
Sometimes it's all it takes, though, right? Like she's only like 8 pins back right now, right? And she hasn't played very well this match, right? So you got to get that confidence, especially in lead.
You know,
right?
Nice against the follower.
Adam, I can't count how many times where I pick and I'm like, or I've been picking a couple of times and I try a different shot on a side, and all of a sudden it cracks the side out, and I'm thinking, okay, there it is. There's the shot. And then all I got to do is change that to my strike shot, and you figure it out, right? Oh, that was nasty. All right.
Another great shot by Michelle.
Then Michelle gets tapped.
Yeah, she's kind of carrying that team for total at the moment.
Absolutely.
She loves no tap tournaments, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I
She
can
hits
see that.
Lots of corners.
Larissa as well.
Yeah.
Big shot by Alyssa here.
Oh, she dropped that.
Dropped.
Oh. Is there anybody on the bench right now, or is I playing? Oh, Wes is.
Correct.
And they could take her out, right? Because, oh, wow.
Yeah.
See,
And John, right? John. Oh, no, John wouldn't be on the bench.
John's out.
Passes. Yeah.
you know what? Like, where's the coach on this one?
You know, quite honestly, if it's myself, I probably changed the lead.
Oh, she's gone now, right?
I don't know. I think with that match basically almost being out of play, I don't know.
I would have yanked her the second she picked the 3. Actually, I probably would have yanked her in the 3rd frame, to be honest. But I can only speak honestly here, Carrie.
I don't know. I don't mind the option of throwing a kickstart up top as well. Like your lead's got you 80, and really not a whole lot happening behind that lead. I don't mind changing that out.
Okay, I hear what you're saying
as
there.
well. But and the other match is already almost out of hand.
I can hear what you're saying there. But Adam, here's the thing: if you come down to the bottom here and you have a chance, I'll take my chances with Wes, Greg, Taylor. You know,
for sure.
Right?
I get it. But at some point, if you really want to kickstart 6, 7, 8 here, right,
Mm-hmm.
you need probably a different lead, right, at that point. So it helps that Troy is really not doing much. I think it's the easier of the polls.
Yeah.
But in a really tight match, I'd probably change the lead myself.
She made it super easy for him when she went 3 through the hole.
Agreed. Yeah, through the hole is not excellent.
Hey, there's a big shot right there.
Shot.
That's a monster.
That's
going
player
into
manager
commercial.
throwing
Wow.
the triple.
Yeah.
All right, now we have the commercial break, and we'll see how everybody responds after that.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Here we go. Remainder of the last match of the day. T-Bay versus the Mad Hatters. Little bit of a lead for the Panorama right now with some marks in hand, but Taylor's carrying that double at the bottom, so.
Realistically, Mad Hatters are right around 501 mark versus 495. Marks are virtually even. Yeah, no, it's a great second half coming up.
Yeah, Tampa. T-Bay, they need this win to stay alive. I mean, this is it. Like,
great shots for both.
If they don't win, it's probably not going to be moving on. So
yeah, it's going to be pretty rough go for them when the top three teams still have 3 games to play, right?
Yeah,
and their last match is against Next Gen, right? Who have the
Who's
Bonnie
one of the
Doon
teams they got to catch
effect,
too.
and which is good as well, right? They have that opportunity to catch that one team, but you know that they're going to put up a big score, and that instantly puts on pressure even before you get to that week.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and unfortunately, like Panorama, like they're still not out of it. They need some big points here though, or else they're going to be moving into spoiler mode, right, for the last few matches. But a big win here will maybe give them some momentum to catch some teams.
Oh man, kind of funny. They're both Larissa and Dan both get a 12 count kickbacks with such varying speeds between the two.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A little overamped by West there, getting into the match. Another good count for Michelle.
Yeah, she's solid on the side right now. Making her spares too. 5 out of 6 on the side. You can't ask for much better of a percentage.
Yeah.
Well, and the team's starting to roll. That's 17 marks in a row.
Yeah.
Need some strikes though. Like they need to get a double work in here. I think it's only a matter of time till T-Bay starts throwing a few doubles. Obviously Taylor's running one right now.
David,
shot by David. There.
Here's a question: when's the next time Greg throws a strike?
Now, right now.
There it is. Oh, he can't get it.
I guess he could have thrown a good ball.
Oh my god! Over under 7.5 frames. Over under. Wow, man, it's just unlucky, but he's just pulling this together. Really showing what kind of versatile player he is.
Making sure he gets in his spares.
Yeah, Taylor's going to show him how it's done.
I wish that I could keep that even keel that he's got all the time.
Yeah.
Derek with a double now.
That's a huge double.
Go. Panorama, full frame.
Taylor basically has to match him.
Oh, chop.
Big push. Power chop.
Wow. Okay, yeah, we're basically looking at tie game here then, eh?
Yeah, two great frames. Yeah, because Mad Hatters is basically plus 90 again.
Yeah. Well, 5 marks to 5 marks though. It's
Yep. Hey, have we seen that coming off of a commercial break yet?
No, I don't think so.
Both teams? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Both
Well
teams
done.
put up black frames. Wow.
Hey, no ham bones or nothing this game.
Everybody's just picking up what they're leaving. That's pretty much all it is.
yeah, this is the true test of bowling.
Great shot.
Hey, there we go. See, and Adam, you wanted to pull her.
No, it's all situational though, right? Like,
I know,
now-
I'm just bugging you.
Now Sam has been playing very well, right?
That's
It's,
another thing too, right? She's been pretty consistent throughout the whole series.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be pretty tough to pull that player that's been playing so well the whole time. Obviously, like it is situational, but
Little head
Troy
pin.
dead on head pin gave him a gutter ball. That's too much speed.
Let's see if Dan here can keep it black, because this is gonna be that kind of game. Yeah, there we go. It's looking like it's gonna be that kind of game. We're not gonna be seeing too many big runs. We're just gonna have to see like a chip away.
Well, this is where you'd expect that experience factor of T-Bay to kind of kick in, right? Not having to push. They don't necessarily need strikes, but you got to keep it clean.
Yeah.
Right. You got to be picking your wood if if the bad things do happen, right?
Yeah. Oh, can you get it over?
Corner.
A great
Okay.
count though.
Hey, big run though, man. Like as of right now, what do you got? Like nine straight team marks in a row, looking to push to 10. Solid comeback, solid working display, I guess, for the team.
Well, and this is where you need Larissa to really step up, especially if they are watching. I know Troy mentioned that they are watching, or they do have a TV available. This is the type of thing you got to start running and back again, right? You can't let one open frame really demolish what they just did the last 2 frames, and really get back on it. Especially if the T-base starts running and they start getting 2 or 3 people ahead, it's very difficult to keep up.
I agree, Adam, but he can't throw a strike, so it don't matter.
Oh, what a great shot!
7 for 7 on the side. Can he make it 7 for 7 spares? No strikes.
Were any of those chop-offs good balls though?
Oh my god! Wow.
Like the corners were money for sure. Everyone's been flush, but those chops aren't exactly a great shot, especially at his speed and his his
Correct.
fingers. That's not a great ball.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You got to be knowing that is, if it was a really hard ball, I could understand it, but his speed's a medium speed ball. It shouldn't be happening with that.
Correct. Oh, push, nice.
That was a bomb.
What a great frame. Back-to-back great frames by T-Bay.
Unreal. 12 straight marks by their team.
Yeah, but Mad Hatters are posting the same. Like it's this is the exact type of match that we want to see. This is perfect for this type of a format, and you start to wonder if each team is really focusing on the other team's scores and their pace, or if they're just kind of staying within their own game. Like, does Mad Hatters know where they're at right now? Another great ball.
Big one, yeah. And I mean, like, this is just a display of actual bowling, like not this new gen of bowling that we were talking about earlier, where it's just strikes. This is like good working frames. We've only got 3 strikes in the last 2 frames by T-Bay, right? So it's solid.
Just keep momentum running.
Yeah, stay black.
Big shot here for Derek. Oh, off a little bit. Got away with it. Beautiful.
There we go.
Now they got the two doubles versus 1 double. A lot of marks working. Again, virtually even.
So what is that? 45 and 45 plus 30? So 120?
Correct. Yeah.
120 more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus the extra double in play.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So we're looking like it's going to be Mad Hatters by what, 30ish right now?
Maybe a little less, but yes. Yeah.
It's a big shot right here for Sam. She's been solid all season though.
Yeah, they need just a quality shot right to the pocket.
Oh, she gets it.
Beautiful. Yeah, great response.
Yeah,
and you start to wonder too, right? Like she had nothing going on at the half. They do make that pull, and all of a sudden, okay, the shoulders drop a little bit. Now we can relax, and
I'm good.
Right, you're looking over your shoulder, waiting for that hook. Now it's not there.
And Troy hasn't done much this back half of the game. I know he's come back there with a spare, but hasn't been all too great.
Mm-hmm. Another great
special staying alive too. We got a great match here.
Great
special message coming in here just for one of our commentators.
Oh, hey Johnny, great guy, Hamilton legend. Actually, he comes and watches all of our tournaments. He was a fantastic player in his own right back in the day. Oh, another shot.
I was watching a little 10-pin tournament today, but while I was setting everything up, and John was in the comments. He spotted me out.
Yeah, he's got flow bowling. Took me onto it. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at the mark stretch we have right here.
For
14 straight marks.
Yeah. Yeah, this is bowling. This is where it's at.
Yeah. 15 straight marks for T-Bay.
Oh, Michelle makes another spare.
Not to be outdone really by the Mad Hatters, who at the end of the day have 10 of their last 12 frames to be marks.
Yeah, just the one blemish.
Wow.
But they got a couple doubles here at the bottom.
This.
You get it?
Another one.
And Greg still has not thrown a strike.
Left corner.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a working game if we've ever seen one.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So you go up there, you throw 7, quality enough shots, like you're off, and all of a sudden the mentality changes a little bit. You feel like you got to play more perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it changes your mentality, and he probably ends up kind of trying to push it to one pocket more than another, rather than just release it.
Yeah.
And all that hard work is basically 250.
Pretty much, right? I mean, maybe this will be one of those funny games where he does go 9-10, right? Gets the 284, and everything's still worth it. Doesn't matter. And then you feel good about those games too, right? Oh, the pause.
Their camera paused.
Oh, another one. Time. And another big bomb by Derek.
So after all of that, where they go on that huge run there for T-Bay, and at the end of the day, they still lose ground.
Yeah, Mad Hatters keep going.
Wow.
Yeah, because you're basically plus 90, so 931 to basically 900.
They're looking like making a pull. It looks like here.
It looks like JC's coming in.
Yeah, JC's going in for Troy.
Well, this is T-Bay's season right here, 9-10.
So my question for you guys is, even though Troy is down in his match, your team is absolutely flying behind him. Do you make this pull, or do you just sacrifice and let the team mentality just kind of keep flowing?
I think you're right, Adam. I really do.
I don't know. Like, I guess
Great shot.
You look at it that way. You think Troy's bringing enough energy that the team can just rely on him and sacrifice him to the Wolves. I don't know. I'm not a coach. I'm not a manager. I don't know if I could make that call.
These are the tough decisions that these coaches end up making. And he was on a spare when that happened, right?
Yeah, and he's fresh. There's only 2 frames left. I mean, you're going to put someone in there with 2 frames. They might be a little cold. One bad shot could be hurting that spare and making it nothing, right?
Yeah.
Another great shot.
Wow, Mad Hatters are going.
Well
wow.
This is good. This is coming down to 10. I like it.
Well, like we said before the broadcast here, Mad Hatters, they need to go 7 across to have a chance. So it's there.
Well, and they do have their last 2 matches against the Mighty Plex and the Holy Rollers. And like we've alluded to a few times, like the top three teams on both sides are duking it out against each other, and Mad Hatters could be playing and just kind of sneak in behind that rate.
Let's see Greg come alive here for 9-10.
Off balance again.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
7.
Oh.
And
And
another
Mad
one by
Hatters
David.
just keep going. Oh my God, this is Greg's not gonna be too happy with this.
He's gonna take it out on you guys in Timmins.
Oh yeah, we're gonna lose everything. Only one saving grace is I'm doubles with them in the in the best ball, so that's good.
Oh shoot! I guess we didn't call Hambone on Derek. We were asking for one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we'll see a Yahtzee right now.
We got a Yahtzee coming. Let's see if the commentator's curse is real.
He's focused, or is it paused?
No, he's focused.
Does he like it? Oh, the commentator curse.
The
And Taylor, of course, picks too. So this is not looking good. It's going to come down. Season's going to come down right now to Sam. That's it.
Yeah. And Wes.
I'll be honest, man. I think they're going to need more. They're going to need a little bit of a mess up too. And you're right, like and Wes for sure. But
Wes can strike out to win out his match as well, right?
Yeah. Yes, he can. 135. Yeah.
So 90 again, right? So they'll be ahead by 50 going into 10.
This is it.
But that definitely, it's a struggle up top if all of a sudden you're seeing 4 or 5 struggle, right?
Your two mainstays in the team too, right?
Hey, now Taylor's going to come on. Oh, this is why I don't start.
Oh, yeah, of course he will. Of course he will.
Actually, we got 60 pin lead. Here we go.
Yeah, they do have that extra double. Oh, looks like it.
Corner?
Chop.
I'm
glad you could see it.
Oh, my internet's just taking a break here in the 10th frame.
Well, I mean, it's been working hard.
Good timing.
Yeah.
She liked
Elon,
it. Yes.
Elon lost 49 satellites. He's got to move one in for me.
Is it there?
Oh, she liked it out of the hand too.
Yeah, she really fell out of that shot, I think, though.
Yeah. So tough with that adrenaline, right?
Yeah, you got to find that happy medium.
And probably her knowing exactly that she had to throw that first strike for this team.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Get those sticks, though. Oh.
Right through.
You know, that's disappointing to see, though.
One big shot here from Larissa, and it's
not looking
over.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, what a bomb, too.
It's not looking good, man. Mad Hatters.
Really big for her individual as well.
Mad Hatters just having a game here. Like, look at that back stretch. 2 open frames since frame 5.
Unreal.
Wow. And not to really be outdone, to be honest, by T-Bay, where they have 4 open frames since then, aside from the 10th frame, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens to be on what you're expecting down the stretch to be just bombs, right?
Yeah.
You're expecting strikes down below. Oh, another great shot.
Just keeps going.
And she comes back and steals that match.
Wow. Another ham bone. Another ham bone.
Ham bone. Could be another one from Dan here. Ham bone.
Another one.
Jesus.
What a great finish by Larissa.
295, great game.
Yeah, great match.
Wow.
Well, now for Wes, this is an absolute must. Needs probably the double to give this team any hope.
Are they there? Like, is it a possibility right now? I guess
so.
Yeah, it's there.
So.
It's there.
You still have 90 down below as well, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah, don't look good now. But Michelle's obviously played a fantastic game. Larissa obviously had a fantastic finish. The whole Mad Hatters team just played great.
Yeah. Oh, she punched.
Great half.
Let's get 20 more sticks. Is there any possibility here? Like if she goes through the hole or something like that? Which she doesn't.
They basically have at least 60, right?
Yeah, 60. So 1230. Yeah, it's pin out basically, right?
Well, 2237 plus
1275. T-Bay can get the 1275, right?
Correct.
So
it not completely out, but need a miracle.
Greg has to throw a strike. There's
that's the hardest part of this whole the whole thing.
He's going to play loose now. I'd be shocked if he doesn't throw a triple.
Oh, he missed.
Come on, camera. Yeah, pitched. Yeah, that's that'll finish her up.
Yeah, this is.
And throws the
victory
bomb,
lap.
close out that match as well. And last match is basically out of play as well.
So imagine that. Greg goes basically 224 here without finishing, without a strike.
Yeah.
Who would ever thought, right?
Yeah. A zero strike game. Wow.
It'd be a 7-1 for Mad Hatters. Exactly what we were talking about. They basically need 7s out.
Yeah.
I think this all but eliminates T-Bay from playoff contention.
I think so. I think you're right.
Unreal. A very quality match from both sides.
Yeah. It wasn't like runs of strikes for the whole time. It was just basically keep getting and grinding your marks out. Just like you said, 3 open frames since frame 5 for Mad Hatters. How can you ask for much more?
Yeah. That means you're throwing it on the side a ton.
Yeah.
Like it's unreal in this type of an atmosphere. It's so difficult to do.
I just got an incoming text from one of the players that may have just been playing. I'm embarrassed. I'm off. And I'm offing myself. Okay. We do not condone any actions against
Suicide,
each other or yourself.
Yes, jeez.
Still a good game. 12:42. Most times that's going to be in contention for the game. Just today, not enough.
Derek still needs a side here.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the 7-1 call might have been a little premature here.
Well, I usually give somebody the over under on 8.
Yeah,
of the over.
But
solid play though. Solid play. 3 open frames. That's insane.
They shoot 1,300. It seemed like it should be higher than 1,300.
Yeah, they go down. They go down the odds. Vegas wouldn't even let you bet on Greg and Timmins. Great game.
Great showing by the Mad Hatters. That's huge.
Very, very well done. Great match.
Yeah.
It's still a 60-point match.
Yeah, that's a great showing for them. So I'll move Mad Hatters just behind the Heartland Kingpins.
Wow, so they're alive and well. I mean, if they hold their own destiny, I think, right?
Yeah.
I'm interested in the games in hand.
Yeah, we'll go over our standings here after we talk with our outgoing managers here. We'll bring in Taylor Michelle from the T-Bay Bowling Club. Rough go here.
Howdy ho!
How's it going?
I didn't bring enough Vaseline today.
So I guess the first question is, why would you start yourself?
Exactly. What a dumb idea that was. Mitch put it in my head and I couldn't get it out, and now here we are.
Oh man, that's honestly though, you guys played a fantastic game. other than the fact that Greg could not throw a strike.
Oh yeah, he was doing the signs of the cross. He was just praying to wherever he could. It was not happening for him today.
A 0-strike 224 game is impressive in itself, but the fact that like when he needed it, he couldn't get it. Do you find like maybe he was pushing the ball a little bit? We were talking about this on the broadcast about how he couldn't get anything about when those chops, right? He was pushing right through. Do you find like maybe he's pushing a little differently?
He was doing more movement with his feet than I've seen in a long time. He was like, you know what, we're going over here because over there is not working, and he just got the same result on both sides.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Sam, I don't know if he might have lost some fingers on it.
Yeah. Sam obviously had a great game, the tough finish there. She fell out of the shot there. Do you find maybe the moment maybe got a little too big for the team?
It's tough to gauge that because we have we got a machine set up down here so we can all kind of see what the other team's doing, but it's tough to really gauge it because you don't have the other people on the other side. Like I personally like to watch the fire go out in their eyes and their soul get crushed, and you really don't get that with this style of competitiveness. So I think to get to that level of murderous spirit is difficult online. So I think you gain a little bit not having it, and like you said, you lose a little bit in terms of you just look at a screen and be like, okay, I need to beat that, as opposed to looking at the bowler that you need to beat.
Well, you must have saw that out of Greg's eyes.
Oh, yeah, just I'd hate to be a homeless person on his drive home. That guy's getting stabbed. I mean, hugged fiercely.
Yeah. And Troy, tremendous game, especially the second half. You guys were basically matching mark for mark. What was your overall thought of the match for you guys?
Oh, I thought the match was actually, like I said, we were right in it there, and I left my shoulder up on the lane a few times, so eventually Jack stepped in and closed it out for me. But no, I thought second half, earlier in the season we were, we kind of wouldn't finish the matches out where we've been able to kind of do that here the last couple of matches, and we've come up short a few times, but this time it just happened. You get set up in 7, 8, 9, and 10 goes good, and today was that day. So everybody threw well. The other side as well, like you boys and Sam threw great. So I think it actually was a pretty good match to watch.
Yeah, it was really good. It was crazy the amount of marks in a row that the teams were putting together. Like Mitch was counting them at one point because he was amazed that people spared that much because he doesn't believe in spares. So
he was using his toes at one point. There were so many.
Yeah, as you all know, here in the Dirty Dog South, you got to make spares. So
yeah, Troy. I mean, obviously, you guys were able to finish this game off when you only had in your back half 3 open frames total for your entire team. That's impressive in itself. And now you guys have left yourself open to a comeback to make sure to possibly make it into the playdowns with your next 2 games going against GP and Timmins. It's a possibility there. Just sticking with it. Obviously, you're just going to be sticking with the same mindset, same lineup, and everything like that. Adam, I know you had a question there about the poll with him.
It was a very interesting time. You had 4 players behind you up there that were absolutely flying. And it's kind of one of those ones where do you kind of sacrifice yourself in your match to let the 4 behind you keep running, right? So a very, very tricky call. I'm glad it worked out because if it didn't work out, then you might have been kicking yourself, right?
Yeah, for sure. And, it kind of boiled down to I turned around and saw Mom standing back there, and then we saw Jack with no shoes on. I was like, "Hey, Jack, get your shoes on." So get her in there, and she's an energy bowler. She jumps around, keeps everybody going too. In the background, you don't really see it, but she's good to have as that pull girl to get in there and get her done. So
that's good.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, we'll let you guys go. You guys have a few more matches still left in this whole pro league. I know T-Bay, a little disappointing on how you guys did today, but it's a super outside shot. You never know, but you get to play spoiler, and maybe Greg will show up to spoil somebody's day. So
I hope so. I hope so personally, and for the safety of general public.
Maybe you should follow him home just to make sure.
Yeah, well, we'll put him on watch. Take all the sharp stuff away.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. Have a great week and great playing.
Yeah, tremendous match.
Yeah, great game, guys.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah. All right, so let's bring up our up-to-date standings here. We can mull over them with the games in hand.
Yeah, the
So,
Mad
yeah,
Hatters stay alive. I mean, if they can go 7-7, end up with that 34 mark, especially with Paradise and Okanagan only having one game left, it's not out of the realm.
Nope.
Yeah.
And the teams that they play. I mean, you're talking about the Mighty Plucks. I know they came out with an 8-0 the last game. They haven't been having a great season. Mad Hatters, if they can get hot at the right time, this could be it. This could be the right time.
If they play like they played today and really got that groove going, there's no reason why they can't compete with the Holy Rollers or the Mighty Plucks for that big score.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe backdoor in. We were talking before, Paradise and Okanagan, they're going to be kind of looking at what each other are doing out there. I think they got to assume that Heartland's going to get maybe up towards their points with the two games they have in hand.
Heartland's games, they play against BPG, Next Gen, and Toppler. It's not going to be an easy road.
Very difficult, right? So, there's no reason, other than, I think T-Bay is basically done and the Mighty Plucks are basically done. I think everyone else still has that realistic chance. It's fun. It's exactly what this format was designed for.
If we look back at the odds from 2 weeks ago, Mad Hatters were plus 1,500, 14 to 1 on your money. I think that might have been where I would have been kicking myself.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, they're still in tough. Just the simple fact that they got to leapfrog teams, right? But it's definitely not out of the realm.
Yeah.
Still a
Absolutely.
possibility. So obviously the league is taking a couple weeks off. We have the Timmins Invitational Tournament and then the Regina Classic. But the league will come back strong with week number 13, where the Heartland Kingpins take on the Bombers, and then the Bombers take on the Crushers, then the Toppler take on the Crushers, and it's the last two matches for the Dream Crushers, and they're leading the Cargill division right at the moment. So they finish their season a little early and get to see how it all shakes out. So
that's a big show. Wow, a lot of big teams in this.
Yeah, no, there's some good implications on the rest of the season.
Huge playoff implications.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dream Crushers, to be honest, I know Adam, you guys are both on the team.
Well, I show up.
Yeah, you're there. You're there. I don't even know if you guys need to even win a game, to be honest, to make it in. Probably just a couple points, then you're locked in. But you want to make sure you get that bye.
The number one seed's definitely the huge factor, right? So, I think playoff wise, I think we're in really good shape. But no, we got to finish this off. It's more of a mentality and a simple fact that these are our last two matches for the rest of the season. Like we're gonna want to end on a good note going into the playoff season, anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I lost my train of thought here.
No worries. So I guess that wraps up week number 12. I can't thank you guys enough for coming in and substituting with the commentary. Happy to have you back. People are probably more interested in your open play talk than it was the match commentary.
Oh, sorry.
You guys really butchered that up, but that's what this is all about and the fun stuff.
They gave us the product on the field the second half. That's all we could ask for, okay? We stepped up when we were needed to, so did they, okay?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in and watching, and we'll see you in week number 13 in a few weeks.
Okay, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Take care. Good luck in Timmins.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right. We'll run our last commercial, and we'll shut this thing down. Have a good
See you in a couple weeks.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
Mm-hmm.